Morning or evening or afternoon, you beautiful bastards, and welcome to my so-called show. And I am joined here by the lovely Barbara Wallace. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, my friend. Hey, I do want to tell you though, I didn't get a chance to do it backstage, but you crushed it the other night singing Johnny Cash's Rusty Cage on
Yeah,
Stupenzo's show.
I think
That
the
was
audience was going more for you
awesome.
doing that little slow swing song though. But yeah,
Uh,
moving on, we've got
uh,
we'll talk about it. We've got my regular Critic Al. How are you doing, man?
Evening, mate. Yeah, I'm okay now. The bloody mic's decided to work. Christ,
I
I'm
know
sure
he
it's
came
on
in
there.
just in time, just in time. And World War Joe, this is my first time guest. How are you doing, man? Fucking glad to have you on here. How you
Hey,
doing?
thanks so much for having me on, guys. Can you actually hear me? My first time doing this. Want to make sure I got
Yeah,
this.
I can hear you.
Perfect.
You're coming through
Loud and clear.
fine.
All right, perfect. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, I was hoping to have Inside Man on. If he's not busy, he might pop on. Also, Fandad Menace is not here this week because he's out with his wife on holiday. So wish him the best, and hopefully he doesn't get too sunburnt out there and gets a good load of beers down him. Right.
Well,
And
we haven't got
today,
much sunshine here in the UK at the moment, so I hope he's making the most of it.
yeah, I know. Oh yeah, it's crap in the UK at the moment, but actually it's nice. It's not so bad here, the weather. I will say that. But tonight we are talking about the Steve Martin screwball classic, The Jack, and God, it is still, what is it, like 50 years now, 40 years now.
It's exactly as old as me, so it's 44 years old.
yeah,
It's
1979.
probably, it's still one of the funniest fucking movies ever. Just everything about it's just pure stupid, yet it's genius at the same time. And I just watched it earlier again, and I was laughing my ass off. It still fucking makes me piss out laughing.
It's definitely an oddball comedy.
It is. It's very oddball as well, and it's like a good little wacky take on the humble guy becomes successful millionaire overnight, then loses it all, and it's all done in that very big, broad.
Yeah, it's kind of got like a little message in it as well, hasn't it? Because it's like, no matter how much money you make, it doesn't give you sophistication. He's still the same dude, as you find out later when you've got with wine and everything like that. So him having money and being rich doesn't give you the trappings of that. It's all superficial. So yeah, it's got some interesting things in it for sure, about family life and belonging and all that kind of stuff. But it is all buried under this really zany oddball comedy with Steve Martin just doing what Steve Martin does. Got loads of faces and weird voices and stuff that he does. So yeah, I pretty much enjoyed it. I hadn't seen it before and I watched it for the first time yesterday.
Oh, you watched it for the first time? Oh,
yeah, I've never actually seen it.
2 times, but not as much. What about you, World War Joe? Have you seen this film, or have you?
Oh, many times. I was going to say, does modern comedy remotely hold a candle to anything back then? If they were to remake this movie today, would they remotely have the same impact?
You couldn't even release this movie today. There's several things in it that would allow you to never be able to release it today.
It's not really that offensive either. I mean, it's very warm-hearted in its own stupid way, and
it is. It's the kind of thing that people would take offense to, but there's nothing in the movie to actually take offense to. But that wouldn't stop them, if you know what I mean. Just certain words that are used, but they're not used in a bad way. But people will take
it's just like you do get one scene where you get some prejudiced characters say the word, but they get their asses kicked in the end, don't they?
It's not done in a bad way at all, but that wouldn't stop certain people from taking offence, and it. So it's just one of those sad little things where these days this film would be viewed as problematic, even though it's not. It's kind of like Blazing Saddles is the same kind of thing. That the film doesn't really portray black people in a bad way at all. Like, he's the hero of the film in many ways.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
words
it's the racists that look the idiots. That's
exactly it. It's sending up the idiots. It's sending up the racists. But unfortunately, even though it does that, and even though this film does the same thing, where Steve Martin does go all sort of like judo and kick their ass and everything, I think that even just that there's some words that are now no longer allowed in the zeitgeist, regardless of the context. And while I can understand it on one side, I do think that it shouldn't necessarily preclude it from being said, because I think context matters. Let's just put it that way.
Oh, exactly.
What if they bring it
Barbara
back
Wallace,
to-
what was your like first your first
The
Sonic
first time
film?
the first time I saw it, I was 11. Well, it was my very first rated R movie. My sister Susan took me to see it because I had memorized the two of his comedy albums that he had out already at the time, Let's Get Small and Wild and Crazy Guy. I pretty much memorized them because they were so funny to me. And the whole premise of this movie was based from part of a bit from one of those albums. It was from Let's Get Small, where he makes the joke of, I was born a poor black child, but then I heard my first Montavani record and decided to become white. That was the joke on the album. That was the joke on the album. And the movie kind of sprang out from that. Because it does include quite a bit of his stand-up routines that were worked into
I don't need you, I don't need anything except this ashtray and this paddle. He's taken a lot, and but he also needed help to get the scripts like refined a little bit more, didn't he?
Yeah, and I think that's kind of where Carl Reiner comes in, because Carl Reiner, I mean, he is like Mel Brooks because they've worked together for many years. But he's the one who injects so much heart and love and respect into these characters, you know?
Yeah, because Sam is really fucking likable, and even when he does start to become a bit of a jerk when he gets his money, he's still really lovely to his wife, and he's very supportive of her, even when she messes up her knife throwing skills. Is like he still tries to cheer her up. It's kind of sweet.
Yeah, it's weird.
It really is.
Any malice from him at all at any stage, because it's called The Jerk, and I was like, oh, is he going to be an arsehole? Is he going to be this? Is he going to be that? But no, he's kind of naive and endearing all the way throughout the movie. To be honest, you feel for him. You want good things to happen to him. So when you see him in the state at the start of the film, you are like, oh wow. Towards the end of the film, you're like, oh, I hope something good happens to him. And obviously, then the end of the film happens. It's like, oh, okay, that's quite nice.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think there's a reason why his name is Naven, right? He's naive.
Yeah.
Good point.
I mean, there's two things that Steve Martin does really, really well as an actor. One is the slow burn into a blowout, right? And you've seen it in other films that he's done, like Parenthood and stuff like that. But the other thing that he does extremely well is play that sort of bumbling, naive guy who thinks he's a little bit smarter than maybe he really is. Yeah. And he does it to perfection.
He's really good at doing gormless, I think. Is the word I would use. He's just, as you say, it's almost his persona. He hasn't got in real life at all, because when you speak to him, he's actually a very erudite person, but he does gormless on the screen better than nearly anybody else, apart from maybe something like Leslie Nielsen. And Leslie Nielsen always takes that extra level towards campion sort of slapstick, whereas Steve Martin keeps it a little bit out of that, I think. So I think you're right. I think he does that really well.
Did he write any of this movie?
It's not an easy thing to get this kind of comedy right, is it? Because it could be just another stupid a comedy with a lot of stupid jokes, but they do sort of like try and add some kind of like maybe logic in its own like crazy world.
There's a little bit of cleverness and there's a little bit of style to them. I was quite interested to hear about say that it was evolved from stand-up, because I didn't know that. But once you realise that, then a lot of the film makes sense, because a lot of it does feel like skits joined together.
Cat juggling.
Yes, exactly.
And that's Steve Martin as well, juggling those cats. He's like putting on his big, sneering fucking Mexican face. I'm not doing it. And everyone in chat, thanks for joining us. And Lord Toxic, if you want to pop on, you can do. But I don't know if you're doing Maxine, aren't you? With
I've literally just seen Maxine. Just got back from the cinema seeing it.
Yeah, is it like a sequel to X? Because I've not watched that yet.
Yes, it is. It's set in 1980s, and it's basically she's been doing porn for ages, and she's trying to break out of porn into a horror film. And it's all set against while the Night Stalker is doing his thing, and there's somebody else killing people as well close to her. I thought it was very well made, but you can tell that she's a producer because it's a very much a feminist power fantasy, I would say, which is one of the problems I had with it. I certainly acknowledge the fact that it was really well made, really well directed by Ty West. Mia Goth is one hell of an actress. She's really good. But all the way through, I was just like, okay, this guy's being put down. This guy's being humiliated. This guy's being humiliated. And it was just like women on top, like the director of the horror movie she's in is a powerful woman and that kind of stuff. And I was just like, yeah. This wasn't in X and this wasn't in Pearl either. And now it's in this, and it's the 80s, and I'm like, I'm conflicted on the movie because, you know, structurally and all that kind of stuff, it was pretty good, but I had problems with it from that perspective. So yeah, I'd be interested to see what other people think as they see the movie.
They always have to sprinkle it in.
I've really overlooked some, but yeah, as we come to the beginning of the film, we see him is this tramp now is homeless, and he's now breaking the fourth wall and saying, you think I'm a bum, but no, I'm a jerk. And this is where he starts to tell his story. And as soon as he starts fucking saying he was born a poor black child, you know you're in for something fucking crazy. It's
yes, I was like, oh man, yeah, you definitely couldn't get away with this these days. But it's also
Craig, yeah, I love the black family as well. They are so fucking likable. You just want to hug them and hang out.
Oh, Mabel King is just fantastic.
It's really just wholesome, and there's kind of like I got almost like a Simple Jack kind of thing from him because he is so naive and innocent in it all. You know, like he has to be told he's adopted. He didn't realise.
No, I love that line too. He's like,
his color.
Yeah.
He does it so well. He still manages to make you feel his pain, even though he's saying something so ridiculous and stupid.
He's really, really relatable. Like everything he does. Like when the garage owner a little bit later on goes, "I'll pay you $1." He's like, $1, you know. It's just like,
yeah,
you can't help but root for the guy all the way throughout the movie. Even like when Bab says,
"I feel like to be the president of Testicle Gas Company." He's like, "Scrub up the toilets, then you'll make me president."
Or when he finds out he's in the phone book.
Nothing about the world, but that's what makes it funnier. You can just put in the most stupidest things that a person who wouldn't know the world would think, and it makes sense, at least with his character, to think that way.
Yeah, it's just total naivety and innocence, like when he's flashing the cash in front of the gangster dudes and everything. Like, oh,
yeah, I love how he thinks he's got the drop on him as well. He's like all smoke going there with that smile and that way he walks off as well. It's so funny.
Yeah, the saunter. It's very...
picking up the phone is like, yeah, I rigged it.
I think because I hadn't seen this before, I'd never really appreciated how much physical comedy Steve Martin can actually do.
Yeah, because you see him at the beginning, he cannot fucking dance the way they're dancing. It looks all awkward and geeky and dweeby. And what are your thoughts on the family?
The rhythm.
Joe?
Yes.
I'm sorry, say again?
Yes. What are your thoughts on the family as well?
I adore this family. Yeah. I think I think Mabel King is just, she is so on it. You know, when she gives him a hug and says, "I'd love you if you were the color of a baboon's ass." She says it with so much sincerity. I love this family. I really do. I
use the Shinola line.
Yeah, sorry.
I was gonna say I use the Shinola line probably every 3 videos I do. It's always throwing it in there. It's so good with so many things today, especially like, you know, Star Wars comparisons and stuff like that today.
Shit from Shinola.
Yeah. Yeah, and Disney continues to walk in the shit.
Oh yeah.
Can't wait to do my video when I get stuck into Star Wars. I was in Game earlier in Nottingham, and the Star Wars toys were marked down from £25 to £3.
Fucking hell, Jesus.
Yeah. That's like Reva from Obi-Wan Kenobi and stuff like that. And even the really expensive, stupid little droid they had that was like £100, that's down to £20. So 80% off, and they're still sitting on the shelves.
I heard they were trying to do a crowdfund for the Reva lightsaber. Did anyone else hear about that?
And yeah, it didn't get funded. It got about a third of the way to its funding total.
But why are you crowdfunding a lightsaber? Can't you just make it?
Yeah.
I think it depends because
No.
some things you want to provide the production money up front because you don't know what
no.
you're going to sell. So
I think if Disney had wanted to put out a Riva lightsaber, it would have.
yeah, I mean, I
That's a
think
good
if they
point.
had confidence in the product, they
Yeah.
would have. They didn't have confidence in the product. Therefore, they put it out there and said, look, if you pay for it up front, we'll make it.
You know what lightsaber still sells? Kenobis.
Yep.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Luke's
there's
Skywalker.
even Darth Maul, and that was like the
Yeah.
weakest of the Star Wars at that time.
I've got Luke Skywalker's blue lightsaber, his original blue lightsaber. I've got that,
Mhm.
the Force FX one, and I said that, like Disney, Northern and I do this, but I got that's off tangent. But real quickly, if Disney had just focused on the legacy stuff and made high quality collectibles, they would have cleaned up. But they abandoned it really quickly for their agenda. And
Yeah, they're trying to revise everything that fucking meant to us. Right? Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Leia, they meant something to us because, they were like a bunch of people that should not get along because they're so different, but yet they did, and they prevented bad people from doing harm to innocents, and we loved them for it.
And that was the core of Star Wars, and that's all the lasers and the spaceships and that kind of stuff, and it was just totally lost.
Yeah, they were the core. They were the core trio, and I'm still angry that The Force Awakens did not give us a scene with all three of them back together.
Honestly, that is the biggest fuck up in cinema history, in my opinion.
Right next to Leia walking past Chewie to hug Rey.
One chance. They had one chance to reunite those people, and they didn't do it.
The fucking veterans, they fucking fought and died and lost people together. I mean, that should mean something, but no, they ruined Leia as well. I feel real bad for Carrie Fisher.
That's what I just said last night. Adam and I were sitting around the campfire last night, and I just go, and they ruined her.
Mm-hmm.
They ruined her. She was my, oh God.
In fact, the entire cinema started laughing.
I mean,
it's a shame as well because I loved Carrie Fisher. She seemed like a really funny woman. I mean, I've seen her interview. She's fucking hilarious.
She's hilarious.
It's very, very unfortunate that, unfortunately, the money she made from Star Wars helped her get back on the drugs that she loves so much. I think that's what killed her, which is a real tragedy. But you know, it's one of those things, I guess. At the end of the day,
she was a whip smart woman.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And,
acerbic wit on her.
Yes, I mean, when I was so I saw Star Wars in the theaters when I was 9, 1977, and I admired her so much as a 9-year-old. She was my hero at age 9. She was my hero at age 49 because she was so smart and funny and talented and was so open about, her mental health, trail that she had been blazing all this time. I adored her. When she died, it was like when her and Bowie died, I kind of lost it a little.
2016 was awful. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Lemmy, Bowie, shit.
Lemmy. Who would have thought out of Lemmy, Bowie, and Ozzy would be the last one standing?
God.
I
don't know how that happened.
I saw Lemmy 6 months before he died as well at Glastonbury, and he was fucking awesome. He was getting on. He had
I know we're getting off topic, but just to tell you something about the Lemmy and David Bowie connection. Lemmy did one of the best covers of Heroes that I have ever heard in my entire life. It's on YouTube. If you go find it and listen to it, it is such a great cover.
Yeah. Dude could actually really sing. He really could.
Yeah.
There's quite a few Motorhead ballads out there that I really like. There's one that's called One More Time. Really good fucking song. Really good song.
Yeah, we'll move on from that. But yeah, I'll check out that clip though, because fucking hell yeah, it's good to listen to more what these legends did that we didn't know about. And obviously it's Norvin's birthday now, and they give him obviously they can't afford a cake, but they're still kind of happy with what they got. It's like it's not much, but it's something, isn't it? You know, they're all
they put each other, and that's all that matters, you know.
Yeah. And it's like a tuna sandwich with
and a tab
and a Twinkie.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's not much, but fucking hell, and they give him all these lovely gifts as well, and it becomes a bit much for him, and he starts to get really emotional. And apparently, this was improvised. The actors did not know this was going to happen, so the look on their faces when he runs in crying, that's genuine.
Wow, didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like a little kid, though, even though he's got this like graying, sad part.
I love that this is supposed to be his 18th birthday.
Yeah, great.
He's 34 at this stage. What age did he go grey? Doesn't he know? Because did he go grey at 16 or something stupid like that?
He was. He was grey at a very young age, like in his early 20s. He had started to go grey.
That worked for him.
Yeah, it worked out for him in the end.
Yeah,
Richard Ward, what a fucking legend, man. And but you kind of buy into it anyway, because the world they're living is so fucking bonkers and out there. You kind of
he's already put that ludicrous situation out there.
This was his final film.
So, I think it was like before. I think he died in 1989, wasn't it? But this was like it was like 10 years later he died, sadly.
Yeah.
From here on out, all the stupid and crazy shit that happens, you just accept, because he started out with the craziest thing of all. I was a white man born to a black family. And it's just like, what? Which makes this next bit so good.
Yeah, and obviously she knows his hating, and he's going to figure out. He's getting close to figuring out by himself. So she may as well tell him that Dale was adopted, and it's like, I mean, I'm going to stay this course. And he's doing that click. He's clicking his fingers, trying to get the ribbon on his stuff.
This where his brother steals his
pretty cool as well. There's a good scene where the grandma is reading the letter about his special purpose, and he's got that look on his face.
And I may have a little extra money.
I love it when he asks him, do you want to go and sing some blues? And he's like, no, there's something about those songs. They depress me. It's such a funny film. He does it so well. And it's just like his first acting job as well. And he really fucking sells it. He does. And I think it's helped as well by the other actors he's around with, because these are proper actors just playing it straight, and they don't really make you care for them. You love this family, you want to hang out with them, and
you do.
Chemistry there, isn't there?
Yeah.
We really don't see good families today in any kind of cinema.
No.
Usually there's
it's always where the dad's a fucking
father,
idiot.
or
I don't like it. I really don't like it. It's
dysfunctional family is the new norm, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that's a new sitcom on X, which is supposed to be like the antithesis, the antidote to woke comedies, but it's just not funny. It doesn't focus on actually just telling a story. It focuses more on just knocking the woke. And the woke is stupid, but you got to have a good show as well on top of it. Yeah,
because otherwise you're just undermining your own point, really, aren't you? Because it's just the same thing, but just not what you, as you say, you need a story, you need characters, you need something to get invested in. The fact of the matter is, just going back to Star Wars really quickly, the Acolyte could be the most non-woke white dude bro thing ever, but the writing, the characters, and the acting and the dialogue would still be absolute shit, so it would make no difference.
Well, I know. I mean, you should
watch Where's the Paradise's watch Where's the Paradise's stream on it, though. He's very funny. He makes some good fucking points, this guy.
They break their own canon within the same episode, so it's ridiculous. I mean,
it's not breaking canon if you don't watch the previous things.
I can't believe somebody
Didn't she say she had some people in the writings room that never watched Star Wars before?
And she was proud of it.
Yeah, like the four of us could come up with a better Star Wars thing.
So stupid.
Guarantee it.
This is a scene where now he's listening to some other music, and it's not blues, it's like some white, I think it's white jazz music, and he's finding the rhythm, and it's actually going real well. I love how he just, while he's getting up, he still clicks his fingers while trying to manage everything else. It's that's very good physical comedy from Martin. He's
getting flashbacks of my wedding watching this.
And he's shouting for his family, come look at this, and this is where they start to realise that the boy's grown up now, and he's gonna have to make it. He's gonna have to make it into his own.
Let him go.
On
Yeah.
straight wings.
Yeah, and then shit shan all the scene you're on about.
Constantly using this.
Yeah, I think this was when I first came to knowledge about this as well, because I was trying to look more and more into all the movies, and I'd already seen The Man with Two Brains. The Man with Two Brains is fucking brilliant.
I've seen it at least.
Then I watched I think Channel 4 had the 100 great funniest movies out, and one of those list shows. And this was on it, and I thought, I need to watch this movie. I saw the clips. I need to watch this movie. This was definitely one of the scenes that made me laugh, seeing those clips.
And what a good message this whole thing that he's talking
And
about.
then he just walks right through it.
Yeah, it's really relevant.
Yeah, and remember, God loves a working man. And the brother's just talking about something like, remember, go see a doctor.
And if you get it,
like,
go see a doctor and get rid of it. Yeah, don't trust. Lord loves a working man. Don't trust Whitey. See a doctor. Get rid of it.
Don't trust Whitey. I tell you, he's the whitest guy ever, and he's saying, don't trust Whitey.
It looks so
Look at
stupid.
the fucking
He's
he's wearing. He's got that stupid, those pilot goggles on for some reason. It's
all good.
Ludicrous physical comedy.
How come he's not doing any of this stuff today, though? Like, has anyone here heard? Has he been doing anything in like the past 10 years?
He has a TV show on Apple.
And isn't like Martin not? Well,
it's called Only Murders in the Building. I think it's on Apple.
Yeah, so you have those two guys in it. It's not the most talked about show ever. I'm surprised.
It's not modestly good reviews, so it's
on
it's
Apple
out there.
Plus, so no one really has that. It's not as popular as the others.
I genuinely frequently forget that Apple's got a streaming service.
They have like 1 or 2 shows a year. That's it.
Exactly.
It's either on Apple or it's on Hulu, and I can't remember because I don't have either one of those. So
it's on Disney Plus here. I don't know if they've got the same servers that stream to Disney Plus where America is, but I think they will do. I think they'll be on Disney Plus. They've got to be.
Everything ends up on Disney Plus because they own everything.
Yeah,
buying everything now, aren't they? And
I don't think they're going to be able to afford to going forward.
They can't. They've doubled the price in like the past 2 years, didn't they? And they keep cutting their original content. I don't understand that. Why don't they have like a freebie where it's this other streaming service that costs nothing? It just charges ass, and that's it.
Yeah. That's it exactly. I think all the streaming services will go ad based eventually.
Because we've got pirate sites now, and I know.
Well, Prime has already gone ad.
Yeah, Prime has.
Ads.
Netflix has gone ads.
Netflix, yeah.
I know.
I mean, I just use Tubi now.
We might as well just go back to cable at this point.
Yeah, I know. We paid these streaming sites because we're fed up of adverts taking up the fucking majority of our screen time when we're watching our shows, but. No, they're greedy. They are so greedy. They really are. And they're raising the prices as well, and we're forced to watch ads we don't want to watch.
Yep.
It's stupid.
You're now paying for a streaming service, and you're paying to watch adverts. It's like, what? I know you're paying less than you would be without the adverts. That's not the point. As Bab says, you might as well just go back to cable. Crazy. The streaming bubble has definitely burst.
For some reason, Tubi has all of the DC movies on it. Apparently, WB and HBO let them just have their entire library of the live action for some reason.
Okay. Is that one funded by adverts? I think it might be.
Tubi, no. I don't know. Maybe.
Plex is a really good service. It's you basically upload your own library.
That's pretty good.
Okay, that sounds pretty
good. And you can invite friends to watch it and stuff like that. It's a really nice service. So yeah, I like it.
Almost like
I have a dodgy fire stick anyway, so I use that. And but I do use sites as well. There's loads of different sites. Like Stupenzo's recommended me, and Lance has recommended me. And as long as you put uBlock, ad blockers, and a VPN on, I think it might be okay. Because I've been finding tons, and it's saved me a lot of money on DVDs, even though I do prefer physical media.
Yeah, I've got to say, I've been looking at things recently and thinking, oh man, I really hope that comes out in physical, because I kind of don't want them to fuck with it in the future.
I'm just DVD burning everything these days, because you know that on TV they're just gonna edit stuff out, though.
I know, exactly.
That's like the movie Ted, though. I don't know if you guys ever saw it. There's a scene where I think they're in like the sperm bank or something like that. My dad was telling me on TV they got rid of that entire scene. Just wiped it out entirely.
Well, I heard.
Why are you
They
putting on
removed the
that?
N-word being said in the French Connection. They removed some scenes in the French Connection, and you can't do because it might be problematic, but you're taking away context that helps you follow the story and make sense of it.
I've got better than that. Die Hard with a Vengeance. You know what the sign that McClane says?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, they changed it to "I hate everyone."
Yeah, that was what it originally said on the it did originally say "I hate everyone," but the CGI the "I hate N-words" in the because they didn't want to infuriate any street kids while they were filming it. But yeah, that's still stupid because that's the whole point. It's supposed to put John McClane in danger. It's the bad guy making sure that he's getting his revenge and making John suffer a humiliating defeat.
So to change it on the TV just eliminates the whole point of that scene, which I don't know, people are going to do what they can do. But that's why physical media going forward, I think, is going to be really important. Really important.
Yeah. The DVDs and Blu-rays are much. They're so easier to get hold of now. If you know these stores that sell them second-hand, pre-owned, whatever, it's just.
And, you can walk into CEX and pick up DVDs like 50p to £1. So yeah, physical media is okay.
Physical media is still the way to go. I really believe that.
I agree.
Going forward, are new films going to be released on physical media or not? Because Sony have announced that they're going to stop producing Blu-rays. So Sony films,
And now they're telling you that even if you've owned a digital copy, it's not owning it.
No, you got license.
No, I'm sorry,
it is because we bought it, didn't we?
We did. If a digital copy isn't owning, then pirating isn't stealing, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
that is wrong.
They've already contradicted themselves. They have.
Yeah.
I think they know they're losing to at this point, though, because the numbers are not remotely in their favor at all. And they're just trying to gaslight us into going along with this stuff, it seems. And I think they know that it's almost over for them at this point.
I think so. I think the thing is, if you produce content that people want to see, then they will pay for it.
I know. Look at Bad Boys for Life. I mean,
as soon as Godzilla -1 comes out on Blu-ray, I will buy it because
it's over.
Oh yeah.
How come that movie hasn't changed the industry by now? Because I saw it in theaters. I said that might be one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. Budget was like $12 to $15 million, and then somehow, like all these Marvel movies, 203. Like what was Captain America for? $400 million budget.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but that's been reshot like nearly the entire. They've made 2 movies. For Captain America.
that was what I quoted too on my video about that. They said they essentially filmed the movie, a brand new movie. So. If this is not the greatest Captain America movie we've ever seen, then it was all for nothing.
It's going to be an absolute.
Yes, it is.
I think the problem with Godzilla -1 is it basically embarrassed Hollywood,
as it should have. I'm sorry, but if this movie could be made for $10 million and look that fantastic and have that much heart and a brilliant script, I mean, we went and saw it in the theater. There was like maybe 10 of us in the theater watching it, and everybody cried at the end because it was so good. And, if this can be done, every single person in Hollywood should go back to film school.
Yeah, absolutely. But
even start going to film school.
Becomes more important than agenda. Because what Godzilla -1 was concerned with was telling a human story. Even though you've got Godzilla wrecking everything, at the end of the day, it is a human story about the kamikaze pilot and the post-nuclear family that he inherits, I suppose you could say.
Inherits. This chick just shows up at his house with a baby.
She just shows up. I guess I have a family now. But because of the Japanese. Because of the Japanese attitude to duty, responsibility, and honor, he takes that on. And that becomes the core of the story. That he wants to protect his family. He has something to protect. And he has his honor to reclaim because he's disgraced, through to his cowardice. So you've got a very human story at the start of that, at the heart of that Godzilla film. And that's what a hell of a lot of Hollywood films just don't have these days. Characters you care about. Narrative are important and touch. It doesn't matter that Godzilla -1 is Japanese. This
would have been a beautiful, wonderful movie even if you didn't have Godzilla in it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
I know.
You
He
could
was a
take
side
the monster
character.
It's a very
completely out
human
of it,
story.
and it tells a remarkably human story
Yep.
of redemption,
Mhm.
of work, of effort, of family.
Yeah.
It rapidly rose to the top of like my top 10 films of all time because it was that good. And yeah, and
And
I love Godzilla movies. I grew up watching them on TV. They are cheeky, cheesy, fun, and I love them. This was amazing.
It really was. And because those concepts, those personality traits, and those themes are something that we can all identify with, it doesn't matter for 1 second that these people don't look like us, because we can identify with the core concepts of the story, and we can empathize with them, even though the dude's Japanese and not white or whatever. So it just shows Hollywood up in so many ways. And I think that's why a big thing wasn't made of it, because they don't want to highlight the fact that it was done by Toho on a budget for a tenth of what Hollywood movies had done, and 10 times better.
One Oscar nomination too.
It also shows up these people who are going, well, I have a character that represents me. You know, I have a character that looks like me. Like, I don't fucking care if a character looks like me or not.
I want you to act.
No. Yeah.
I want you to act.
I know. It's like the woman who the model, the new April O'Neil off. She's this frumpy black woman who's not an attractive redhead at all, and it's so narcissistic. It really is. It's
well, a lot of it is self-inserts, isn't it? Unfortunately, because where we've got to the level of narcissism that we have now, people can not only not identify with something if it doesn't look like them. Some creators can't identify with something or create something if it isn't actually them in the thing. So
I know,
you see it very often with self-inserts, and it's always very, very obvious.
Everyone else is not like that, though. I mean, it's like I am not Bruce Wayne, I am not Batman, I am not Indiana Jones. But that's why I like them. They aren't me. They're better than me. That's what makes them so fucking cool. They're the person we want to be.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, my favourite, the Star Trek captain that I identify most with isn't Kirk, it isn't Picard, it's Sisko. Because he got pissed off really easily and he punched Q in the face. You know?
Yeah.
And to me, I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I would do. I've got no time for fools and stuff like that. I'm not a patient, diplomatic person, so it doesn't matter for 1 second that Sisko is black and a father and all that kind of stuff. I identify with those traits. I see those traits within myself. The color makes absolutely no difference, and I wish more people could understand that, because now what happens is we get characters that are caricatures. So you get sort of a black person and there's no deeper themes to them. It's just like, right, they're black and that's their identity and that's everything about them. Yeah. They're gay. Okay, they're gay. That's everything about them. That's their sole identity, is they're gay. We don't need anything else, because now we've made them gay. Every gay person will automatically identify with them. And if that's the case, then why
about these characters here? Because they are different colours. You've got these very sort of stereotypical Jewish characters, but that didn't matter because they're still very likable, aren't they? I mean, like...
And I get it. I get it. You know, representation matters, whatever. It does. It does. It's important that people are able to see another perspective. And so when you get groundbreaking films like Philadelphia, just throwing this out there since we're talking about.
Yeah, that's a walk.
That was a groundbreaking movie, and it was an important movie to be seen.
Yep. And
that doesn't mean that everything after that needs to copy. Okay, it already pushes that narrative to the front and tells you, yes, we see you, we understand you. This is horrible what you've gone through.
Yeah, because I think
that's
this was
important,
like,
and it was a ground,
wasn't it? And like 10 years after the old AIDS epidemic happened, it's.
Yes, it was very timely film. Mm-hmm. And I think it was quite brave of Tom Hanks to take it on, actually, to be honest, because it could have done damage to his career.
And it really was brave of him. And it was a star-turning performance by Antonio Banderas.
Yes.
These are two straight married actors that turned in a loving, wonderful performance because they knew how to act. And just because, and so my point is if you tried to remake this movie today, you would have to cast
two gay men.
Two gay men.
Yeah.
In order to have that representation, because suddenly that's the representation that matters, not a
Denzel
performance
Washington would
or
be fucking
acting.
gay as well, in it, wouldn't he? It's but
And it's called acting for a reason.
Absolutely.
And yes, certain parts call for certain skin colors or certain ideations, but it doesn't have to be represented. It needs to be represented by the best actor for that job.
Absolutely. Best person, best director,
best person,
actor, best
right.
writer, whatever, whoever's got the talent. It should not matter what the color is or what.
Mr. Garrison in South Park is a gay man who became a woman and a gay transsexual lesbian before turning back into a man. Yeah, where the fuck are you going to get an actor that's done all that in real life? It's you can't.
You'll find one today. You'll find one
probably, but
easily.
Oh, I love this scene. Love this scene.
Yeah, he's still waiting outside, isn't he?
He's still waiting outside.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Lewis,
to the end of the
Marvin.
No, David.
Yeah, how far are you going? Till the end of this fence. It's like,
all right.
I'm Marvin Johnson. What's your name? Here we are. And he's still there with a big fucking smile on his face. You gotta love his optimism.
Yeah.
You really do. But they do kind of exaggerate his the hard road he goes down as well. Like he's just fucking hitchhiking and stopping, hitchhiking and sleeping rough. And this is where we meet the dog as well. Shithead. Yeah.
I'm gonna call you Lifesaver.
Fire.
Now it's jumped ahead for some reason, so I'll get back on that soon.
Oh, it's gone well ahead, hasn't it? Jeez, it's gone to the sniper.
I know. I'll just stop the screen and I'll skip forward a little bit and it should be fine.
That's so random though. He's so happy about the phone.
He does that though. I don't know why the slideshow does that. Yeah, so I need to...
I heard in Philadelphia that Denzel Washington used to hide candy bars around Tom Hanks to screw with him because he had to eat like such a calorie deficit the entire time.
Yeah, because he was having AIDS. He had to look like he was dying of AIDS.
I just heard Denzel Washington saying, "Yeah, I used to just put candy bars around the set to annoy him."
That's evil. That reminds me of the Carl Weathers Arnold Schwarzenegger thing on Predator, where Arnold got the costumer to lie about his bicep thing. So that
that was great.
So that Carl Weathers thought he was bigger, and all along he's like, oh no.
Dark Hour, thanks for joining us, man. Yes, he hates these cans. Yeah, Nick's from comics. Nick Foy. Yeah, because he was writing comics, wasn't he, originally? And then they made him black.
Yeah, he was writing the original comics, and then they made him a black man for the Ultimates. But again, we probably got the best version of Nick Fury we could with Samuel Jackson. Not so much now because the character's
it's over now,
completely destroyed.
That show was terrible.
But why? With the show and the movie don't make any sense though, because the show he played that as serious as a heart attack, but in the Marvels he was the comic relief. Like when did these two products supposed to take place in the timeline?
Yeah,
when they got new writers.
Yeah, no one knows.
There's no continuity, and they're constantly looking for male characters to show up as a joke now. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
And congratulations on 5K subs, Dark Hour. Yeah,
nice congratulations.
Yeah.
Oh, nice, well done.
Yeah, I don't know if it's underrated. I mean, maybe it is a little bit more now these days, but it's definitely one of the classics, though. Because it was on it was the 150th funniest movies on Channel 4 that got me to watch this, so it's definitely got its fans.
It's just a film that I'd heard of. I just never got around to checking it out.
Yeah.
So I definitely heard of it. I mean, it was definitely a film that was known and in the public consciousness. I'd say because I have heard it around all the time. But it's just one of those films I never got around to. There's so many films that
Yeah, it's a film I've not watched enough for, to be honest. But it's I always fucking enjoy myself when I do. And yeah, thanks. I hope we will. Might take a few years for me, and hopefully less than a year for Critical. And I
think
you're getting a few subs already. And Barbara Lawrence, you're doing real well. And I hope you still continue to get more as the years go on, and maybe even become bigger than other channels.
I think we hit over 700 recently.
Nice.
700. Oh, fucking nice one.
I think I'd have to go back and check. Adam does more of the figures than I do. I do research.
What you can do is just keep producing the content and hope people like it, and that is it. And just be authentic. I think that's the biggest thing that people key in on these days on YouTube, is that you're authentic and you're not just chasing clout or doing the sensationalist thing. That works for some people.
It doesn't work for us, and I'll tell you right now, this is one of the funnest things that we do together. I mean, it's every week is so much fun, and regardless, I mean, we were really hoping for monetization once we hit 500, and it just didn't come. It's still not coming.
They moved the goalpost again, then.
But it's something that we're going to be doing whether we get monetized or not, because it's fun.
Yeah,
we love it.
Exactly. Yeah,
I enjoy it. I enjoy it. Fucking hell. I think, if I ever do get big, I'll be like, I kind of miss the days when I was smaller, because when you get bigger, you're going to get a lot of more fucking attention and a lot of people wanting more.
More money, more problems.
You'll start getting targeted on Twitter.
More money, more problems.
Yeah.
But still, I'd risk it. I'll take the fucking hits. I'm hoping it does go bigger, and if I end up getting a little bit more to do after that, then so be it. That's because we pick because we choose this for a reason, don't we? And we've got to be prepared to take the hard work with it. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a grind. You've got to keep knocking it out. I took yesterday off. I'm streaming tonight. Tomorrow I'll be making videos again. So it's a numbers game at the end of the day, and the algorithm will forget about you if you just take a week off. That's it. The algorithm just goes, So
that's why I did my live streaming of the new Beverly Hills Cop movie, because I don't think I would be getting much chance to edit. I was just been so fucking busy this week. So
what was that like? I've not seen it. I've heard sort of mixed things. I've heard it's all right. That's what I've heard.
It's an okay movie, but we'll probably get more into that later. And back to Shithead. He's just barking and
the walking fire alarm.
And Johnson's thinking, oh yeah, someone's in trouble. What's going on? There's a fire. And it turns out to be fuck all. It's just he thinks the dog's helping people save lives.
He thinks the dog's going to be like a superstar. Oh, you're going to be famous. They're going to call you Lifesaver. It's going to be amazing. Like, no, don't call him Lifesaver. Call him Shithead. It's like, okay.
I know. I like the fact the dog's a bit of a fucking arsehole with him as well. It always cracks me up. But it becomes a very funny joke. He's obviously insulting the dog, but he just says it as a name to call him, doesn't he? And then we get one of the first of the many letters he's writing to his parents, and it does feel a little bit of exposition as well. And this is where we meet Hortarian, if I'm pronouncing his name right, played by the fucking legend that is Jackie Mason. Just a really fucking hilarious comedian. And he wants to fill up his gas for his lighter. I just love that the delivery he does as well. The fucking deadpan humor is like, oh my god, I wish I had stayed at home. I'm glad I didn't stay at home, otherwise I'd have missed this. Very funny, sarcastic guy. But this is where he starts to see him as I'm thinking, let's hire this guy. He's probably, I don't know if he's underpaying him for every hour, but he's still.
I imagine so. He's looking at him. I mean, you could view it the stereotypical Jew, couldn't you? But he's looking to use him as a source of cheap labour, basically. But Navin doesn't know any better. He's all over it and proves himself to be a hard worker. Not exactly.
He actually does take him in a little bit as well. And he does seem to actually trust him and like him. He even gives him a place to fucking live, even though it's not much, for free.
Yeah, I think Navin's just that kind of a dude. He's such an amiable chap that you can't help but like him, and that's the whole thing behind the character.
Yeah, and I love how he's so simple. Like, if he does one little job, he'll be the president of Texaco. Yeah, because he doesn't know any better, does he? He doesn't think, you want to be the president of Texaco. He doesn't automatically mean like years of hard work to get to the top. It's,
but he doesn't have a bad bone in his body.
He doesn't.
I love this little bit of physical comedy. It's
so simple. He just fucking flies out the screen. And he's still, and what lousy money he makes, he still sends a little bit to his family, and they're very grateful as well. They're grateful, and they're proud of him.
Mm.
And yeah, this is where he starts.
So happy about having just that, and it's not even that, and he's just like, "Oh, this is great! I'm going to knock this."
Yeah, so he thinks the bathroom's this as well. He's like, "No, it's not the bathroom." It's like, I could never afford this place anyway. It's like it's a fucking bathroom, man. But to him, that's fancy, isn't it? Because he's been living in this like little wooden shack all his life. It's so of course this is going to be fancy for him as well. Just this little fucking storage room for him to keep in.
Well, everything's new, everything's exciting. He's had a sheltered life with his family. You know, this is all the wide world that he's never seen. So
I know, and you gotta love his optimism a little bit, and maybe Hortarian does sort of see a little bit of himself in him as well, even because he does sort of like he does seem to believe that he will make something of himself one day.
Yeah, I think he sees him as sort of like he sees the naivety, but he also sees the hopefulness.
Yeah,
and it's like, well, you know, he wants to make a go of it. He's not cynical and like, oh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. He's you know, in his own way, he is a go-getter, I suppose you could say.
Yeah, it's surprisingly one of the most capitalistic movies ever made. It's someone who comes from nothing, works his way to the top, or has an idea, and that makes him a millionaire through ingenuity and thinking outside the box. And because mostly millionaires sometimes become that way by not going down the normal road and actually trying to think outside the box and take up different opportunities that others won't take.
The concept he comes up with is so simple. Anybody could thought of it. But
I know, that's what makes it even better. It's so simple. It's not a big, complex machine. It's just little tiny parts super glued onto each other, and a little bit of science, and that's it.
Yeah, it's almost like idiot genius, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, because he's not totally stupid. He's got something there. He's Yeah, it's like never go full retard, isn't it? Like in
exactly.
I like that he asked, how much is it going to cost me for the room? It wasn't like he was expecting it to be free or anything like that. He's still willing to pay his way the entire time.
Yeah, that's a good point as well. Yeah, he wasn't asking for a handout. He actually does want to pay. He actually expects to pay his way like everyone else. And he's a good character. He's a very likable character. He's a likable idiot. And this bit always cracks me up as well. And he's just dead honest. He knows this woman's in it for the fucking money, but he's like, yeah, but she's hot and she's probably a great shag. Of course, I'm going to have her around. I know what this is. I'm not going to kid myself and say this is a real relationship. I'm just happy to get fucking laid by hot women because of my money, and that's it. I love that honest cynicism. And he does, and he puts him in. Obviously, leaves him in charge now, and he says, "Listen, if this fucks up, my sex life is gone. Okay." He said, my sex life is in your hands, and he does that. Where's the shot with him with the hands? Yeah, he's doing all his hand signals as well that indicate sex. It's very funny. It's also a good show of Steve Martin just being a very good physical comedian. He's obviously been doing this for a long time before he did this, and it really shows.
I can fix those shocks.
Yeah. They crack me up as well. They look
I used to have a neighbor.
So suspicious, everything.
I used to have a neighbor who was part of the lowriders club in our town, our local town, and every year the Christmas parade, it would just be a lineup of them going through, and the kids would lose their minds, or like, make it bounce, make it bounce.
I don't like how this guy actually. Some of the Latin gangs still dress like that today. You know, the Benny at the top collar button, the top button done up while everything else is unbuttoned. It's that's still going on today.
Yeah, now their trousers are normally hanging around their fucking knees.
I know, but the Converse trainers. Yeah, this is definitely of the time, and yeah, he's got a vest on. That's still very today. That Latin fashion, or Italian as well.
The wife beater.
Yeah.
But like even here, like that, even here, they're like, this guy is so innocent that we can't, we can't hurt him or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? He's sort of like,
we'll just manipulate him a little bit. That's it.
Exactly. We'll use the card and that kind of thing. You get some tires off him, but we're not gonna, we're not gonna hurt him or anything like that. So because he
could have just pulled a gun out on him, but the door.
Exactly. Yeah, he's that innocent and amiable that they're just like, you can't help it.
Smoke.
Yeah, no, it's a fucking joint. It's like, so because they need to use a credit card, they have a stolen one. It doesn't matter. They can fucking buy whatever they like and not worry about the charges. It's
Mrs. Nussbaum.
Yeah, Mrs. Nussbaum. Yeah,
it's his wife. Nussbaum.
He's like, I'll vouch for him. He's like, that's fine then. If you're
as we got a voucher.
Now, here's something telling about me. I am old enough to remember when I had to look, when I was working retail, you had to look up the number of the card. There was no internet. You had to look it up in one of the little booklets that they sent you to see if it was stolen or not.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a thing?
That was a thing. That was really forever. A thing. Yes, it did.
Actually had to have a memory back in those days, not a short attention span. It's fucking hell. I don't even know, and this is how bad. I don't even know my wife's own number off by heart. I really need to start learning just in case, because who knows what could happen. So I need to get back into that a little bit.
We take things for granted when it comes to technology.
Yeah, we got too easy these days. We need to reel it back a little bit.
Like I just got a new mobile phone contract today, and I was out and about, and I was doing this mobile phone contract. And he was like, "Okay, yeah, I'm just going to need your 16-digit card number to do a verification check." And I was like, "Shit, I don't actually carry my debit card with me because I pay for everything by phone."
Yeah.
So I had to wait till I went home this evening to do it, because I don't carry my debit card. I just get my phone, just go bleep, that's it, paid for. I just don't think about it, So, yeah, you can take things for granted for sure. So I wonder how many people know how to sign their names these days. Because when was the last time you had to sign your name for something?
That's a really good point, because so much stuff is being done, online to just sign it digitally or whatever. And my son's handwriting, his actual handwriting, penmanship, is horrible.
There's a lot of kids that can't do cursive now.
It's chicken scratch, and they did not teach him cursive in school. Yeah, they quit teaching it because it was all focused on the computer. They just, in California, where I live, they just recently reintroduced a bill that is now cursive is now a requirement to be taught again in school. Thank God.
We need to start bringing these back as well. Some of these old things as well. Because all these servers, all these internets, they're gonna go. They probably will go down one day, and where we're going to be after that, we're going to be fucked.
Well, I think general literacy is falling anyway due to things like text speak and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I know it's like
abbreviating things and all that kind of. So it is becoming a lost art, but there will be times when it's important. I mean, I see things on Facebook where companies put something up and there's a really big typo in it, and it just drives me mad because I'm like, it's meant to be professional, and
don't use commas or anything like that. And exactly. I'm still trying to sort of like relearn my punctuation a little bit, and I still put commas in the wrong place occasionally. But we do need to sort of get back into learning how to write professionally a bit more again. Without the text speak, and actually get back to proper spelling again.
I've seen some places where it's like you put a book into an app, and then it summarizes it for you or writes it where it's even simpler.
Yes.
So you don't have to really think about it. It just says, "Oh, here's Shakespeare, but written simpler for you."
This is one of the things that really makes me
worry. The guy worked for as well, because he was a wordsmith, and you're destroying that.
The art of language. There's a Stephen Fry video out there where he does some work with language, and he's speaking and using language as an art form. So he's using words that go together, that mean different things, that flow into each other. And I do feel that a lot of that is being lost these days. Not quite talking about poetry, but just talking about using the correct word to have the inflection that you need to steer a sentence in a certain way. So I feel like that is totally being lost these days with a lot of what I see. We're becoming a very I think people's vocabularies are dropping all the time, which is a shame.
Yeah,
Oh,
because even
definitely.
occasionally I say little filler words like or that kind of thing. That's and yeah, I'm trying to unlearn that a little bit because it does get a little bit fucking.
That is a hard thing to do, though, and also a lot
Yeah.
of that, as you say, it is a filler word that you use because you're thinking of the next thing to say. But the
Yeah,
amount
exactly
of
that.
times
That's
I see a
exactly
video
that.
these days, and every other word is like, I'm just, oh god, please.
Yeah, because back in if you look at people, read old books that people, even the most working class layman would have this great, vast vocabulary in his language, and we're not getting that anymore now.
Well, even look at this film. So you
I
look at the
feel like-
jerk and look at the dialogue that Steve Martin uses. It's not particularly intelligent dialogue, but it's still a hell of a lot more articulate than you see most kids using these days, like Gen Z and stuff.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I would say that I think that it's fine. Filler words like or like I use a lot, are fine in casual conversation. I really do. In in a more formal work setting or business setting, or something a bit more formal, I do think that it is important to have a better vocabulary and to be able to speak with distinction and flair, I guess, for the lack of a better word.
Yeah.
When you overuse words like or really or very,
Literally is another one.
literally is a
So overused.
It can be
So
literally
overused.
annoying.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's important that you're able to articulate yourself.
Yes.
And, again, I think a lot of that is
I think it'll come back.
So-
I feel like we're at that tipping point where nature can only course correct at this point, though. We're seeing that with so many different places now, though, just the entertainment world and everything. And now you look at the book world too, though. A lot of these places are suffering too. So, in a way, it's kind of good that it is happening because it's going to get better eventually. I think that's just the optimistic person I am with these things.
I hope
Yeah,
so.
it's the
I feel
darkest
like
before the
technology is
dawn.
such a crutch
Believe me,
these
the dawn
days.
is coming.
I think maybe that could be true.
Yeah,
But I
because
also
we still got to
think
be optimistic. We do, even when things do look like they're getting darker.
It does make me
I don't
wonder
think we're
if
going to
people
ever
would
go
watch
back
this
to
film these
you
days,
know,
like Gen Z.
Jane Austen.
Yeah, exactly.
We
Like
could.
Jane
We'll get there.
Austen, and be like, oh, they're all speaking old fashioned. Like, like when we get the new Lord of the Rings films, and so for example, you look at the dialogue in Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings, and even that is a moving on from Tolkien's original way of writing. And then you compare that to the Rings of Power, where it sounds like almost millennial speak.
Night and day.
It is absolutely night and day between the two types of dialogue. And that's the thing that I worry about missing. And you can see it in Star Wars as well. When you look at Star Wars, which was obviously made in the 70s, nobody's going around saying, oh, groovy or anything like that. It doesn't sound like the 70s. But dialogue these days in Star Wars movies is sounding awfully millennial all of a sudden. A lot of millennial sort of phrases and things like that are being used. I've seen, what's her name, Amanda Stenberg, some of her dialogue, and the dialogue in The Acolyte is some of the worst I've ever heard. But it's starting to sound like things that millennials or Gen Z would say, which will date it going forward. And you don't
have no understanding of anything that people did in the olden days. All they understand is their modern way of thinking, and it's stupid. It's absolutely stupid, ridiculous.
And that's why they go around criticizing the past using the standards of the future, standards of the present, which is something you should never do.
Yeah, do you think it might be some kind of inferiority complex, something like? Maybe...
I think it's a superiority complex, if I'm being honest. I think it's a case of they're like, well, now it's so much better and so much more moralistically, superior that the old times should have been like that, and because they weren't like that, we're going to try and hold them to that standard. And you see it a lot of things with things like Star Trek and stuff like that, where like, oh, in the old days, and like you got people going around like, oh, McCoy was so racist to Spock, and it's like, you obviously don't understand the dynamics behind that relationship, you know. And that's something else that's been lost as well, is the understanding of dynamics behind relationships and platonic relationships and brotherly love and things like that, you know, and the fact that two men can have a love for each other that doesn't have to be romantic or sexual.
Yeah, no, I mean, I know we take the piss out of like the buddy movies of the cops being a little gay with each other, even though they're not. But that's it. That's the end. At the end of the day, it's just.
I don't think that's. That kind of stuff is just. That screams insecurity to me. It really does, because if you cannot understand camaraderie, if you've never had a best friend that you could make inappropriate jokes with, I feel kind of bad for you.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I mean, no, that's the thing. We always say like gay stuff to each other, but it's always fucking funny.
And not even that, just having identity and being able to get on with somebody who does not share your opinions is something that has been lost so much, to the extent where we've got people who are on opposite sides of the fence, where somebody will agree with 90% of somebody's opinion, but because the other 10% they don't agree with, they're the enemy. And it's a scary place to be. It really is.
That's unfortunate.
The powers of debate and discussion have been lost.
You know,
lines are drawn and you stand either side of it. It's crazy.
But growing up, we always spoke about politics in my house, always. And I think that, and it was especially true between my mother, who was a diehard Democrat, and her brother-in-law, my uncle, who was a Republican. And they could argue and argue and argue and disagree with each other. But it never got ugly. It never got rude. There's a lost art to having a discussion and a discourse of something that has a sensitive topic, politics, religion,
Absolutely.
Sexuality, whatever, without having
To it.
Right. And there's and I can see both sides to this. I can see where it could be considered to be callous or irreverent, but it doesn't have to be that way. Mm-hmm. It's only that way when you inject a belief system into it where you automatically think that person is wrong just for thinking that way.
Well, we now have wrong think.
And that is a lost art.
Yep. It used to be taught in academic circles.
It was called debate.
Power to debate. Yes, absolutely. My school teacher did it, and he had split the school into two halves, and he said, right, one half, you have this subject, and your subject is Hitler was bad, Hitler was wrong, blah, 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 blah. And he turned around to the other half and he said, right, you have to argue for Hitler. Now, I know you don't want to, and I know we shouldn't have to, but you have to understand that people have different viewpoints. And we come up with things like, oh, he united Germany, he did this, he made Germany into a power again, all that kind of stuff. And he
did bring them back from the brink of depression as well.
Absolutely. We know what followed was wrong and evil and all that stuff, but you have to have the power to see it from somebody else's side. And that
my son's English teacher.
It was the only socialistic movement that actually helps an economy, and they still had to fucking execute a shitload of Jews to do it as well.
Yes, no, don't get me wrong. The Third Reich was awful. It was a terrible thing, all that kind of stuff. But you have to understand how that happened, how Hitler rose to power, and the things that he did that put him in that position. Because the fact of the matter is that he did do things that people believed in. And if you can't understand that, if you do not understand history, you will be doomed to repeat your mistakes. And people have to understand how these things happen. And
it's only we are seeing those mistakes being repeated because now we've got like big sort of like communistic fucking people trying to run the show, and they were 10 times worse than the Nazis. If you read about the gulags, they're fucking awful.
Yeah, Lenin killed way more people. So So yeah, I think I do worry about the way that people think about things these days, the way they just jump on causes without thinking about the nuance, without thinking about the finer details. Look at Palestine, for example. Palestine are the victims, the Jews are evil, Israel's evil. And it's like, whoa. There's so much more than that to it. Right, well,
That's just been going on for thousands of years, hasn't it?
Exactly. It's been going on for a long time. There's a lot of nuance, there's a lot of details, and in all honesty, it'll probably never be sorted. But if you don't side with Palestine, you're evil. And I'm like, what? When did that happen?
Well, we are going a bit off topic here, and
sorry.
Opinion. Both sides are fucking stupid in my view, and
both sides for
both
thingies, absolutely. But you look at something like this, and it's a simpler time. There's none of it.
I know.
Yeah.
And this is real. Here's a funny scene as well, because he's going back and forth trying to call the cops.
Oh, it's so funny.
Busy as well.
Yeah, I can hold him here. I've seen it in a movie or something, wasn't it? And he's like, "Oh, you get a free oven mitt," and they're like,
And he walks back so smug about it. It's like, "Oh yeah, I got him."
It's worse. They're grabbing tires, everything, and he's giving them the fucking tires.
Yeah, just charge it to the credit card.
Yeah.
I don't know why I never noticed this, but yeah, it is pretty fucking funny that there's a church right next to a gas station, and I don't know why I didn't realize how funny it was until now. But yeah, that's a weird place to have a church.
Does he really go on to the church? Because I didn't see him do it, but to the church.
I want to say that because the gas station was a real gas station in Pasadena.
Oh, here it is. Yeah.
And I want to. I can't remember where I read it. I could be wrong. But I think that the church was like a set building for the film itself.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
So.
There wasn't. It wasn't just like a church right next to a gas station, but it was like on an empty lot, and they built this little church for it.
Quite tricky for the vicar to do all his sermons while people are constantly pulling into a gas station.
Yeah, there he is rigging it.
Yeah.
Didn't they have a bunch of purses that they got the ID from?
Yeah. I saw them getting the cards out, the purses, it says.
Yeah. Again, Navin, completely oblivious to all of it.
Yeah.
I know, and it's a nice little thing that you blink and you miss it, because it indicates straight away these guys are thieving bastards without spelling it out for anyone to see. Yeah, and obviously, he does that tricky lead in the movie. You're an 8 customer today. You want a free oven, mate. And they're just confused. They're like wondering what.
It's
He's got that face as well. Look at him.
It's so good. His physical comedy is so good.
Yeah, and it's like, I got them now.
Yeah, I'm back.
Like, you guys
even that wondering, do you want to? Shall we wait for the oven, mate? Nah, let's just fucking go. And he ended up tearing the fucking check off.
Hey, mate. And then he's like, well, if you find a blue Chevy with a church attached to it, that's probably the one I didn't get.
Yeah.
That's a Chevy 2-door going down the street.
Yeah, I like how he's calm about it as well.
But again, it's so ludicrous, it's so surreal, and it's just I
know. But it's done for real as well. You're seeing a real set being pulled, and it's the fact that it's there makes it just as believable as it is stupid. And obviously, he's not too mad on it as well. He just cost a few tires, and on the bright side, we lost a fucking good church.
I mean, like, what blowback would it be on the gas station owner? It's like, you can't.
How excited he is to be in the phone book.
Yeah, I know. It's like it's a little thing as well. It's in print now. It's like a big thing for him.
Things are gonna start happening to me.
Yeah.
My name is in print.
And the thing that happens
to him, and it cuts to this fucking
Emmett Walsh, man. He's so great.
God, he's always looked fucking old, hasn't he? I think he passed away recently.
He did. Yeah.
Good actor, man. Good actor. If you ever needed a guy to play arseholes in a movie, he was always the best person.
Oh, do you see that address? Because he's in the cupboard.
Elm Street, yeah.
Right.
No, 253 and 8th.
Yeah.
3 and 8.
Oh my god, yeah, that's a nice little. I never didn't notice that. That's very funny. That's a good one, though.
And as someone who's lived in a half, I get it. When I first got married, we rented this little guest house in the back, and the address was like 640 and a half.
That's a real thing. I thought that was a joke, though.
No,
we never had halves in the UK. We get letters. So you get like, say for example, one of my addresses was 42B. So downstairs was A and would be B upstairs.
Yeah, I mean, apartments will have, apartment C or apartment 3C or something like that. But for whatever reason, just the little guest house was a half.
And it's just he just wants to shoot him because he's a random guy. We do find out later why.
Name and he's just gone, what a dick.
Yeah.
Thankfully, he's a very bad shot.
Yeah, I know, bastard.
Son of
a gas pumper.
Yeah, we missed a little bit as well, so we'll go back a little bit at the moment. Give us a second. But yeah, because there's this other scene with this guy with the glasses as well, isn't there? Which becomes the main point later in the movie that leads him to his success. So I might have to go back a little bit.
Really quickly, as you're doing that, though, back to talking about things that we kind of lost. We kind of lost like villains too, though, where they were actually villains.
Have to be more sympathetic all the time. I like a sympathetic villain, but we have to understand why he's sympathetic and why he's doing what is still bad.
Well, I saw Eric Kripke, the guy that's the showrunner for The Boys, and he's shaming people for thinking Homelander's cool. And I'm thinking the best part of any story is the hero and the villain. So I have to like the villain.
Well,
so
the thing is,
why are you shaming me for not liking him?
Because Homelander's a white male, he can be made bad.
That's true.
He can be made bad. If it's a female,
I'm sorry, but if you're not paying attention, Homelander was bad from the beginning. He was a dick.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
there's no surprise here that he was the bad guy.
I don't understand. You see the memes online saying, "Oh yeah, people just realized Homelander was the bad guy." It's like I kind of knew he was the bad guy when that plane went down.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
before that.
We're only cheering him on just to piss off the left because they say, "Oh, he's Trump. He's Trump." Yeah, all right. Well, now you're making me like a homicidal fucking mass murdering.
Homelander is Superman gone wrong.
Yeah, but I feel like when you make a comparison, when you say like, oh yeah, we base this off of Trump, it's like you have to give us a reason why. You can't just blanket statement, hey, we based it off of this. So like, no, you have to make him like him in a way.
They say
that would be better.
Off of Trump, but I don't honestly see any of Trump in Homeland. I mean, this maybe is a Brit, and I don't see it. I don't see it. I mean, I think it's what they think Trump is like.
I think it's ego.
They paid Homelander into. And
it's all the above of it. They have no idea. They're just trying to create a boogeyman, and they're inventing stories with him. With Homelander, it's, oh yeah, he's the worst guy. We must compare him to this, but you don't have any of the same similarities at all.
Yeah, I don't.
Other than a huge freaking ego, man.
Yeah, exactly. He's got a huge ego, and like obviously a very inflated sense of importance, which, strangely enough, the original Homelander in the comics did not have. It's a very different dynamic there. But to say like he's Trump, I'm just like, I don't really see it. I just see Superman gone wrong. That's what I see.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, it's basically Superman if he didn't have a good upbringing to show him to be moral and
exactly. Yeah, he's a test tube type thing, Homelander, and again,
it works because he's such a fucking good actor.
Anthony Starr is a bloody good actor. I tell you that. He makes
he's
that
killing it.
Very much does. Yeah.
I won't go back on it. We already know the scene where the guy at the gas station has a problem with his glasses and it's falling off, and
he fixes it.
Like, I can be able to fix it.
In 2 seconds, he fixes it with something.
It's a simple.
Yeah, he solders a little thing together while he's in the men's room and fixes it. But the funny part is that whole tossing the glasses in the air.
Yeah, the 2001 Space Odyssey. And it's so simple as well. It's like the glasses are falling because you're putting pressure on the frames when you put them on your ears, causing them to spread. But you put it on with the little attachment on the bridge of your nose. It puts the pressure on the nose, and your glasses aren't slipping off. And it's like, that is so fucking good. I don't know if that would work in real life, but it makes
because you would end up. You would end up cross-eyed. It's just a natural thing. It is.
Yeah. I know. I mean, just put a fucking disclaimer saying Do
Yeah.
not
Don't
look at
do
the thing on
this.
your nose or whatever you do. Keep your eyes straight forward. There, and you'll be fine. But
Well,
it's still
there's
funny.
it is funny because there's well, I'll talk about it when we come up to it, because there's a scene in the disco when everybody finds out that it's, you know, it's making you cross-eyed.
Oh, the announcement.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's so shiny, your eyes are drawn to it. It's just such a stupid thing to bring him back down to fucking rock bottom, but it's so funny. It is.
I think he said something about magnets, didn't they, in the movie? Or did I imagine that?
It's like a magnet for the eye. Something.
Oh, it's like
Yeah.
a magnet for the
Yeah.
eye. Right. So, yeah, the eyes are just drawn
Yeah.
to it. Oh, yeah. So, yeah.
So obviously he fixes it up, and the guy's going, you know what? If I can get this developed, I will split with you 50-50. And yeah, he's on his way. And then the guy starts shooting, and he starts thinking the cans are defective.
He hates these cans.
He hates these cans. We ain't got defective cans. We got a defective person over there. And I like how he still sort of like tells him to get the fuck out of there, save himself. It's always, yeah, it makes him work hard and he underpays him, but fucking hell, he still cares for him, and I love that. He's a dick, but he's a dick with a heart. And yeah, he's just fucking stumbling now. He's running out of bullets. He's just desperate. He's just fucking firing whatever he can, hoping the bullet hits him. Yeah, and shithead comes along
He
as
waits for the
well.
dog too. He does everything right, this character.
Yeah. Yeah, and the guy refuses to follow him because he's not carving.
Yeah.
He's
like, hey, he's not carnival personnel.
Yeah. You're fucking deranged killer. Who cares?
Yeah.
Just fucking go and carry him.
He's a killer, but he adheres to the sign of carnival staff only.
It's like the toll
Rules
booth
are rules.
it's like the toll booth in Blazing Saddles, isn't it? Where they could just go around, but no, it's like,
Nope,
got
to go back and get a shitload of dimes.
Obviously now he's joined the carnival and becomes one of these guys that guess people's weights, and
and he doesn't understand. He doesn't understand the way that it's making money, does he? He's just like,
I know. And the fact that the other crowd can give away these little pencils and sharpeners and shit like that. It's
below the stereo, this side of the bicentennial glasses.
I was gonna say, today we can't possibly have a carnival game like that. Guess your weights. They'd burn those places to the ground.
Oh yeah. People, fucking body shaming.
Can you imagine that?
And he thinks he's doing a bad job as well, but it turns out he's only made that $15 is still made a fucking profit.
$14.50 profit.
Yeah,
gave away 50 cents worth of junk.
Yeah, and I love his lines. He's like,
it's a
profit deal.
Yeah, it takes the pressure off, and yeah, it does sort of like boost his confidence a bit more now. And he's like, yeah, okay,
step right up and win some crap.
Yeah.
He's had a lot of positive male role models in his life so far up to this point, though. Like,
Yes,
no one's been really.
His dad has been nice. Artunian's been
cynical
nice.
bastards as well, and the great characters.
Film was appeal onto the positive role model of the father,
and they're believable too. That's the thing; they're not really too off the wall. They're just regular guys, and they're not really doing that many over the top things for him. Like, giving him a little shack to live in. It's like not like he was using the shack to begin with, the gas station owner. So mine as well.
Yeah. I know, and these characters could have their own little fucking mini episodes, whatever. It's they make it the small parts work so well, and I love how the guy who owns the carnival is a little bit scruffy in his little suit. He looks like he's smoked way too much, and he's now got tobacco stains on his suit and everything over the years of working here, and it's
the terrible
level of realism.
You got Patty. You would never get it. Imagine the comedic potential of a series with like a black family with a white kid in it, and the white kid doesn't fit in, and you've got all these different things that just don't apply to it. It never happened, but as you say, there's a lot of potential for a series there. Yeah,
and we've got and this is the first time like you said, this is the first time we see Patty as well, played by Caitlin Adams, and she hasn't really done much she's an actress and director.
She's
really
she teaches acting.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's an acting coach in LA still.
Yeah, she's very funny. She's like this proper fucking rough, very promiscuous woman.
Harry Pitts and all.
Yeah.
No. Who's a very genuinely dirty person. And obviously he's obviously a little bit charmed by her because he's seen her do all these awesome stunts and he's very what's the word? He's
mesmerized by her.
Quite awesome.
Yeah, mesmerized. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, and obviously she comes through the stunt all right. She fucking kicks ass. She's scary, but she does play. She's very funny in it.
She is scary. I'm sorry.
Yeah, she is.
She's damn scary.
Yeah, she'll scare you into shagging her. She will.
Man-eater, literally.
I know. And she's obviously taken with him a little bit as well. She sees, I don't know why though, but yeah, he kind of go over it as well.
She's just looking for a shag. He can move his hips.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, that's fine. It's just fine.
Yeah, and he's a little bit naive and gullible enough as well. And she actually tells him to fucking shake his head.
He has no idea what's going on.
Yeah, you'll do. Yeah, give it a bite of the corn dog. What about germs? Put a rubber
on it.
Yeah, I think the only thing she's been in that I recognised was Underworld Awakening, and I could see her playing a good scary role in that. And yeah, you can tell a lot by the way persons live, and I can see you are a very genuinely dirty person. He's not judgmental about her. He's not freaked out or grossed out by her. He seems very happy to be in her company.
He's very accepting of everybody, isn't he? That's the thing.
Yeah.
He doesn't judge. He doesn't, he's as you say, he's got this kind of naivety to him where everything's new, everything's exciting, and he doesn't see the bad side in anything, to be honest.
Yeah, he's not jaded about anything.
Nope.
I know he's not scared of her either, even though most people would look at her and think,
terrifying.
Yeah. Would I want to get involved with this woman? She looks like she's got crazy on her. She's got crazy. Yeah.
That could be a reason to get involved with her too, because of the crazy eyes.
I have never understood that kind of relationship.
No, I'm trying to be a gentleman and not say don't put your dick in crazy, but
yeah.
No, go ahead and say it. Don't put your dick in crazy.
You'll get one good night and a lifetime of fucking hassle.
I've learned that lesson. When Rain came on Netflix, it brought back some flashbacks, I tell you.
Yeah, she's trying to seduce him now as well. I'd like.
Yeah, exactly. He hasn't got a clue. He has not got a clue.
I know. He thinks she's being literal, but no, she's on about fucking shagging him. He's like a kid, isn't he? He's like a kid just discovering new things.
He is, yeah, exactly. As I say, everything's new, everything's special and interesting and exciting, and he doesn't judge anybody. And you say it is childlike in many ways. Yeah, it's a good point, Nex. Yeah.
Yeah, and
there are some good actors out there, really are. It's just they're not always getting the good work. As I say, Mia Goth in Maxine, whatever I think of the film, she was incredible in it. She's really good. I've seen her in a few things now. And there's Emma Stone, amazing actress.
I think Glenn Howell's a very good actor. I think Anya Taylor-Joy is killing it at the moment.
I'm kind of off Emma Stone.
Really? I was blown away. I've not seen Kinds of Kindness in it, but I was blown away by her in other films.
I found her completely charming in earlier roles, and now I just kind of look at her. Ever since I saw La La Land, I'm like,
I've not seen La La Land actually. That won an Oscar as well, didn't it? That's a musical though, isn't it? I don't tend to go for musicals.
I love musicals, and I hated that movie.
Trey Parker and Matt Stone ones, in which case
I know what you mean about Emma Stone, because she was fucking she's killing it for a long time, even at such a young age. But I don't know if I want to see that. What was it? The one where she's fucking got the baby for a brain and she's now a prostitute. That's the one.
Nope, that was the one I went. No, I think I'm out.
Poor things.
On Emma Stone's.
The new one I might give a go with Jesse Plemons, who really looks like he's lost a ton of fucking weight recently. Jesus. So I know he put a bit weight on, now he's lost it again. It's he's looking like his old self from before Breaking Bad ended.
But there are some great actors out there. Like I say, Anna Taylor-Joy, very good actress, but they can't be in all the films, and they certainly can't be in the TV shows. And that's where, unfortunately, you get to the stage where people are just cast for who they are and what their identity is and that kind of stuff. And you're not always getting the best person for the job, like Amanda Stenberg and The Acolyte. I'm sorry, I don't know if she got hired because she's friends with Leslie Headland or she agrees with her politics or what, but she's not a good actress in this, at least. I've not seen her in anything else.
Yeah, apparently she was in the Hunger Games as the little
she
kid.
Was Rue, like 20 years ago.
Yeah. That's the only thing I've ever seen her in.
But that was
it's like a bloody what's her name, Brie Larson. She won an Oscar.
And then forgot how to act afterwards for
she's awful.
I'm an Oscar winner now. I'm so good for this. I don't need to fucking try. And I think she is trying to get back on track a little bit again. I heard she was pretty good.
She will never be the main star in everything, because after Captain Marvel, she's always been the side character or ensemble cast where the pressure's off her. You will never see her as the main draw.
For herself, though. She did.
Yeah, there's quite a few actresses that have done that to themselves, though. Unfortunately, it's their own fault to a certain extent. The thing with acting is anything. Everybody's telling you amazing. Everybody's telling you special, and eventually you're going to believe the hype, and then you get an inflated ego, and then that's where the problems start. So. I think a lot of actors could do with learning some humility, but whether or not it'll actually happen, who knows? Because you've got the cult of the celebrity now, and with social media, Yeah,
I might actually take a step back from that, though. I don't think a lot of these actors right now have opinions. I think they're just paid.
They're given reading points.
Yeah, they're being told, like Rachel Zegler coming out there and saying, "Hey, we're gonna get rid of the prince," and he was stalking her in the original Snow White, and that's just weird. And then afterwards, she's saying, "Oh, well, it's such a beautiful movie." I think a lot of these people you have to just play the game. You'll get the money. You're selling your soul, but hey, you get the money, so that's okay, I guess.
Oh, PR reps. The public relations reps just give them a reading point, or say this is the prevalent opinion at the moment, therefore you go with it.
I also don't like Rachel Zegler. I think she's really untalented.
No one does.
There's nothing genuine about her.
No, I mean,
she's
the only other thing that I've ever saw her in was the West Side Story remake, and I really didn't care for that either.
No,
I mean,
I didn't watch it.
No,
I'm not a big West Side Story fan to begin with. It's not my favorite musical, and Romeo and Juliet is my least favorite of the Shakespearean tragedies. But she's just boring.
Well, I think she also had a string of flops too, though. West Side Story, I don't think it did that well in the box office, and then
it was a critical darling.
And then afterwards, she had Shazam 2, that didn't do well. Hunger Games barely squeaked by, and now she has Snow White coming out next year, so it's not a good string of movies.
It was CGI dwarfs instead of real dwarfs because it's offensive to have dwarfs playing dwarfs for some fucking reason. Thanks, Peter Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage's bloody fault.
Yeah,
because Peter Dinklage,
he did the dwarf community no favors at all there.
Speaking of flops, something's not flopping here, and that is
nice segue. Well done. Well done.
What's happening to my special purpose? I love that. When I was a kid, my mom told me that was my special purpose, and someday I found out what that special purpose was. It's like, today's the day. And yet, he's the 18-year-old losing his virginity. He becomes a man. And it's just cracks me.
This is the best. I love this line.
To them all. Yeah, my dear family, guess what? Today found out what the special purpose is for. Look on his face. Oh, God. Gosh, what a great time I
wish I found you could. Maybe somebody, as I tend to do this a lot.
As I tend to do this a lot every chance I get. The brother's face just cracks me up. Look at him. He's dying not to laugh. He's got to be dying not to laugh for real as well. He's not acting. Come on. I think next week I'll be able to send more money as I may have extra wear. My friend Patty promised. I love his son napping. And he's got the kisses here.
Oh my God.
Fucking hell. And they can't just pass it. They can't just fucking ignore it a little bit and say that Patty must be a sweet girl. And he just makes
I love to laugh, yeah.
Yeah, we cut to the next day, and yeah, this bit where she just pats this guy's ass. Yeah, she's been around the block. She really has.
Yeah.
And he fucking does
She's
the
not,
same.
she's not riding the bike. She is the bike.
Yeah. And obviously, first thing he asks is, well, after this is like, do we ever think we'll get to know each other? And yeah, she's not bothered about that. And it's like,
It's
you
weird.
have my last name tattooed right there under the J's.
She's very possessive about him as well.
Yeah, she is. She's weirdly possessive about him.
Yeah, very, very odd.
Yeah, first my name was in the phone book, and now I'm on your ass. And you know what? I bet more people do that more than the phone book.
Well, clearly, if it's under the J's, there's a list.
Oh my god, yeah. My fucking ass is a phone book of all the men she shagged. This isn't a full-on graphic, explicit, bawdy, raunchy comedy, but yeah, there's some very good, funny adult moments though. And obviously they're shagging on the roundabout, and it cuts straight to these the fucking engine pushing in and out. So yeah, it's a good little segue there. So he's got more work now. He's promoted. He's now helping the kids on the train, and this is where we come to what's her name, Bernadette Peters.
Yeah.
Yes, she's so adorable.
She is. She's that little.
And they were a real couple at the time.
Were they really?
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some photos of her lately. She still looks like she's aged very well for her age. How old is she now? She's got to be getting close to 70.
Yeah, at least.
1948. Yeah, she's I think she's 76.
Yep.
Yeah, she'd be in her 70s now.
Yeah, but she's very young.
Still just an absolute doll. She's
lovely. She's lovely. You want these two to get together. They're fucking adorable together. Obviously, he's looking for a kid that says life sucks on it, and he's like, no, I only saw a kid that has a shirt that's saying bullshit. No, the other way around, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's on the train.
Yeah, and this is, another funny scene as well. The kid's on the train, and he has to go save him, even though it's not really going that fast. And he's doing all this explaining as well about the mechanics of it while chasing him. Yeah, all this fucking monologuing while all this shit is happening. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, he misses getting his head bashed in because the bill of his hat protected him, and Hardy saves him, and obviously he wins her. He wins her heart, and obviously once he's.
Yeah, it's the start of it.
Yeah, love this bit where he says, could I trouble you for a kiss? And he kisses the kid on the face.
I know.
But yeah, they've got some good chemistry together, even though they're given these ridiculous lines.
Well, if they're together, then that makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah.
I do wonder how the movie would have gone differently if he would have ended up with the biker instead. Like, this never happened. What character would have evolved more, him or her, throughout the movie?
I think he would have become an actual fucking jack in this. He
would have like a mohawk and everything and be just like her.
Be like Grease, wouldn't it? So he turned
up. Yeah,
reverse Grease.
Mohawk would have been hilarious. That would. Steve Martin in that big purple mohawk and a big studded leather jacket. You know, that's got to be a funny image in itself.
That could have worked, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, have you seen his hair in that film where he plays a gangster on the witness protection film? I forgot what it's called now. But yeah, it's really exaggerated Italian sort of pompadour haircut.
Yeah.
If you get round to watching Maxine, look out for Travis Bickle.
Yeah.
He's in the film, kind of, sort of.
He plays he's doing the nervous nerd in trying to ask the woman out, and it's just
he can't. You
want to go out? Once for night, once for not. Yes,
like a horse
on the floor. Look at that smile. She's got a lovely little
So
smile.
adorable, those blonde little curls.
She is just. I mean, Patty calls her a Cupid doll later, but it's the most apt description for her. She is.
Yeah,
She's like a little Cupid doll. She's just adorable
and genuine too. That's the most important thing of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I believe that she's actually being this nice to him.
Yeah, this obviously he's waiting for her, but now Patty's just shown up, so he's obviously trying to save himself a little bit.
Is she wearing a Nazi hat?
Yes.
Yeah, because I think
yes, she is.
There's some bikers at Wally stuff. I've seen it in what was it? Every Which Way But Loose as well. They've got all this Nazi paraphernalia on them, on their leather caps, everything. It's crazy. I don't know if Toxic might know more about these biker gangs though, but obviously she knows that he's been flirting with another woman, and she she fucking takes him down, and then she pulls out a knife and
threatens to shank him. Yeah.
And remember, I did this without anger, and I stayed away from your crotch. Oh yeah, that's called a MAGA hat now, Nick. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, anyone who wears that is apparently one of them. It's ridiculous. It really is.
Doesn't take much, put it that way.
Yeah. Obviously now he's meeting her up, and he's pretending that he's got roses without. He just stems of roses, and she seems to recognise them straight away. What kind of stems they are? He puts his fucking. His hoodlums are dangerous. Yeah, let's get away before she finds us. Like, why are you calling her a she? He's like, oh, it's like you call a ship a she, and hurricane a she. Yeah, and this is where we find out where he's staying. It's just a lot of stuff taken from an old cup of pizza.
I mean, he's moving up if you look at it.
Yeah,
in space.
Yeah, you can open the door, get some fresh air in, and he's got stuff from a cup of pizza that's been closed down. But thankfully, they're getting a good cup of pizza from a better guy who's managing the newer place. And this is probably the fanciest date they'll have at right now, because just a cup of pizza in the back of a lorry, and she's not shallow about it. She's not judgmental. She's actually enjoying her time with him.
Did you say cup of pizza?
Yeah,
it's a cup of pizza.
A cup of pizza. This guy is great.
It's not bad,
I forgot about
this. Is the best pizza in a cup ever.
Like a pot noodle, but worse.
Yeah, and it's like there's a bit of innocence as well. Like he's not attracted to her because she's got great big tits as well. It's like it's something more like she has nice skin on her and everything. She's got a very nice innocence to her. Yeah, and it's like
smooth and flexible.
And she's playing it straight as well. Like, I take after my mother's side of the family. That's why my skin is so smooth and flexible. Yeah, you're a model. I'm a cosmetologist.
I love his response.
Yeah, it must be tough to handle the weightlessness. Yeah, and I like this as well. Like, obviously, she's saying she might have a boyfriend, and he asks her this really stupid question: the next time you make love to your boyfriend, could you maybe think of me? Well, I haven't made love to him yet. Do you think it's possible that someday you could make love with me and think of him? It's like, what?
Who knows? Maybe the two of you can make love, and you'll think of me.
Yeah. I'd just be happy to be in there somewhere. It's like, what the hell? And this is why he kisses her, and this was genuine. He
licked her face. She did not know that was coming.
Yeah, that's his real. That's a real reaction. Oh, it always cracks me up, and she doesn't seem pissed off either. She's actually just. She actually does. She keeps on as well. She's a professional. She doesn't lose her shit or ruin the shot. She keeps on it. She keeps acting.
To be fair, if they were together at that point, she may well have been used to stuff like that, because I reckon Steve Martin's like a constant practical joker.
Oh yeah. He's a comedian, isn't he? And he's a very mad comedian.
Yes, oddball, I think we said.
Yeah, and obviously he's caught now by Patty, and it all fucking kicks off.
And she just two fists.
Yeah, it's just not. She's got one up there that's slippery when wet, and it's yeah, you're wrong. She's no great piece of ass. Hey, wait a minute. Let's reason this out. But yeah, that's not gonna fucking fly. She's pissed off. She's not the type of person to reason with. She's got a fucking knife. She will use it. But
This
obviously,
time with anger.
Yeah, then we find
knocks
out
her out.
Marie's got hidden potential of her own.
Oh yeah. She's
Oh yeah.
she's got strength.
She clocks
Clocks
her.
him.
Yeah.
She just hauls off and clocks her.
Yeah, she looks like she was willing to walk out on him as well, but yeah, she sticks around with him. They have this nice little moment as well, and apparently, a lot of people when they saw us at the cinemas walked out to get snacks while this was happening, and I think that's a real shame as well because
That is a shame.
Not exactly a long film.
I know. And it is probably one of the few moments where it actually takes a break from all the wackiness and has just this nice little moment.
It's very charming. It's very sweet, and real. It's just a lovely moment.
And I think it only becomes a little bit wacky once she pulls out the the trombone?
The trumpet.
Yeah. I need to recognize these fucking instruments. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Or coronet or whatever it is.
Yeah, it just comes out of nowhere, but it's and then he starts using it as a metaphor for trying to kiss her, like because it almost sounds like he was making a blowjob joke as well. Like when you put your lips on there, it started to blow. I started to get this rising feeling, and
then he's like, "I didn't want to get spit on me."
Then they come to the kissing scene, and it's so fucking awkward. They're like pushing each other.
Was it good for you?
Yeah. Well, obviously, I would have kept my tongue in. But she's afraid if she'll kiss him, she'll fall in love with him. And and it's very sad and very emotional. She talks a little bit about her mother, her mother will not approve of anybody she goes out with unless she's a go-getter or has a special purpose. And that brightens everything
I've got
up.
it.
Like, yeah, I've got the special purpose. It's fantastic. It's great. It's unbelievable. Your mother's gonna love me. Once again, you get more ridiculous fucking dialogue from Steve Martin here, and it's so fucking funny. It's
comparing the week that they've known each other to
there's something
breaking it down into days.
There's something I want to say that's always been very difficult. I slit the sheet has split, and it's like I've never been relaxed enough to sail around anyone to be able to say that. And it's what the fuck is this for this 4 weeks days, and the days turn into an hour, or the hour turns into 2 weeks, and then there's a day off and it turns like a week again.
It's the most convoluted way of saying I feel like I've known you forever.
I know. It's deliberately convoluted as well. It's just one of those things where you just watch and you're like, what the fuck is he saying?
So it makes me wonder how much of this he ad-libbed, because I think he might have ad-libbed quite a bit.
I would imagine all of it at this point. Can you imagine writing this down in a script?
Yeah, she's probably lying there trying not to laugh.
It's almost autistic as well. The way it's just going, just keeps going and going and going. Christ, if he had lipped that, he must have been one fucking hell of a genius, because I would have struggled after like 3 fucking words, never mind that many sentences.
To be fair, even if you just remembered that script, that's pretty good, because
I know.
Off screen, he has a bunch of whiteboards there with all the lines on it.
Oh no, and I think the Simpsons are kind of ripped this joke as well. If if you say yes to what I want, just don't say anything.
Yeah,
made me very happy.
Made me very happy.
Yeah, it's like Homer Simpson when he's like, where he doesn't know Marge is pregnant with Maggie, and he's like saying, "Life is so good. If you freeze everything, leave me no sign. That will be done." So, and this is a scene where she leaves him, and even when she leaves him, hilariously heartbreaking. Is singing this dumb song and she's singing along with it while she's writing "I'm leaving you" notice. And she's holding back. She's trying to hold back the tears while playing along with it. It's you just can't help but buy the seriousness they're playing it, even though it's ridiculous. Yeah, and who's the happiest girl? And shithead backs and he's like, "That's right." He has no idea it's him fucking. It's shithead that's replying to him. And then we come back to another setup for a famous song.
Yep. I love this song.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm picking out a thermos for you. For you. Not an ordinary thermos will do.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's a good little setup for a payoff that comes later, a very emotional, the emotional payoff anyway.
It's well planned out, this movie
for their relationship.
You know, every piece just comes back later on. You really don't see that a lot with things today.
Yeah, I know they don't seem to have good little comebacks. Or
if you do, it's really obvious, like really obvious. This is such an innocuous little thing that you wouldn't think about it, and then later it does come back and you're like, oh, okay.
I know, and it's so cleverly, it's so well done as well, and it really fleshes out the relationship a lot more. So yeah, once again, he thinks he's fucking saying it. Go and give me a kiss and fucking shit. Obviously thinks he's talking to him. And it's like but yeah, he's trying to tell him about the note, and he finally gets the note, and it's all
read it.
And I think that's
this was
callback to
this was a direct, it's a direct reference to the Rick reading the note in the rain from Casablanca.
Yeah, and the ink's all running down, but he still manages to read it. He is having difficult reading it. He has no idea what the fuck it says.
What would the subtitles for this part even be? It just says gibberish. Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't even put his clothes on. He just fucking grabs the dog to protect his fucking crabs.
And then he gets one for his butt as well.
He grabs the little Yorkie. And the woman's just standing there like,
yeah.
Did this film have a disclaimer at the end saying no animals were harmed?
I don't know if PETA was a thing back then.
Yeah, this always makes me laugh as well. Like he leaves the dog back with a woman, and she picks it up and actually kisses it as well, just to make sure it's all right. It's like that dog's been on his ass. I think give him a bath first before you start kissing the poor thing. Yeah, and obviously he's trying to tell shithead, you know, it's not going to be easy. You know, you have to leave me, and shithead just fucking runs off before you guys.
He does. He's like, fine, I'm out. I'll stick with the carnival. They've got food.
Yeah. Yeah, even when Shithead finally runs off when he finishes, he's like, he actually goes, okay, you win, you can go with me. But Shithead's running off. He doesn't want to come with you.
Yeah. He's dragging him.
Yeah. The dog's just fucking growling at him when he fucking drags him. It's like,
how the hell do you train a dog to do that?
Yeah, apparently.
Just as he's dragging them along, it's like, yeah, you're gonna sit here, drag the dog, and the dog's somehow gonna just go along with it.
Apparently,
that's a well-trained dog. It is.
Apparently, the dog and Steve Martin did not get along because Steve Martin accidentally dropped something on the dog.
Oh,
yeah, the
dog. Yeah.
But yeah, I love the fact that the dog's a fucking asshole in it. He is. It's like he'll fucking desert him when he wants to. But obviously, he's writing another letter to his family to say like, Marie's left me, but I'm going to try and win her back, and I need to stop writing now because someone outside with binoculars is watching me. It's like, oh yeah, and he's also been surviving on 3 meals at the hospital because he's been giving up a pint of blood every fucking time, and he had to stop because when he cut himself shaving, fucking hair came out.
And now we have the return of Mehmet Walls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it really does look like he's returned to kill him, and it is kind of intense. And he's like, he tells Shithead to go for him, but the dog ends up going for Norvin instead, because once again, the dog's an asshole. He is. He deserves a name shithead. He throws a cereal at him as well before fucking running out.
He's like throwing popcorn at him.
Yeah. Yeah, he actually climbs over this fence and Emmett Walsh just fucking opens it. He just opens it. He gets the crucifix for some reason. Yeah, and you're going to have to sign for this. What, you have to sign before you shoot me?
You shoot me?
Yeah, and he looks...
I
really
love this
like
line. That was the old me.
Look how sweaty he is as well. It's like
sweating.
I could see the sweat dripping from his nose when that scene was on. It's like, Jesus Christ, man! I felt sorry for the bastard. I was a little mixed up at the time. Had a bad marriage, and I gave up smoking.
I just gave up smoking. That was the reason why I decided to randomly pick people from the phone book to murder them.
Yeah, just randomly kill average people just for being average. And he's a private detective now. And it's the last we see of him. But we found out he's got some... Yeah. We found out he's got some good news as well. The guy who he helped with his glasses has got a proposition. And turns out they're making money. And this is where the movie really starts to kick in even more and become even more ridiculous. And he's gone from rags to riches. And I like the fact that he doesn't remember him at first, but it does all come back to him as well, because it's like he's probably had a bit of time with the carnival. He's just been another customer. He's forgotten who he is. But
I mean, you get the feeling it's been at least a few months.
Yeah. Plus, when you're serving a lot of customers, you do end up forgetting a lot of people unless you see them regularly. It's one of those things.
I just can't believe how ridiculous the Optigrab looks.
It's ridiculous.
But I think it would have been real back then. It kind of fits.
But it goes well with the world.
Men's shorts were a thing crocheted men's shorts were a thing back then too. Doesn't mean it should happen.
Good point.
I agree. I saw one of those on those random ads that turn up on Facebook, and it was some crocheted shorts, and I was just like, why? Why have we not moved past this now? Are we not better as a race than crocheted shorts for men?
Yeah, and he thinks he checks $50, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it's a $250,000.
Yeah, and I like the fact that even the banker's got one of the Optigrab glasses as well. So it's it shows that it's out in the world and it actually is becoming a big hit. And
was it like 9 million of them were sold in total, and he has to give each one of those 9 million people $1.06. I think it was.
Yeah. Yeah, that's on about just over $1 each. And he's proper boastful as well. 250 is more than he's ever had before, and it is a big money to him. But that's but it's when he starts to realise it's $250,000, and you can see the shock just really fucking hit him in the most bizarre way. And he's not happy to cash it in unless it was a big load of money. It's like he just thought it was another fucking schmuck with a low pitch. Yeah, so obviously he's got to give out the information. He's got an application form. It's like, I didn't pass that though. I failed everything but the date of birth. I didn't get the job. What's that got to do with anything? And this is where he finds out it's $250,000, and his head just fucking turns, and it's just. I'll be like that. I would be the same.
I would too.
Yeah, I'd have a smile like that.
And he sends the first postcard, and even those two are wearing the Optigrab glasses.
Yep.
I think everyone you see that's wearing glasses from now on is wearing Optigrabs.
I know, and they don't spell it out either. It's just a subtle thing that's on there visually, and it's not emphasized on straight away. It's just there. She doesn't need to be emphasized, and obviously with all that money now, he dresses up ridiculous.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah, he's dressing up how he thinks rich fancy people do.
Like
that
German
gargantuan peasant.
I know, it's got the fucking He's got these big fucking photos that they're way too big for that house.
The black velvet nudie. So funny.
Yeah,
So
even
good.
fucking shithead's all flashy now and all. Obviously gets a call from Marie's mum because she's obviously found out he's a fucking become a millionaire now. And obviously she won't tell him unless she fucking gets paid a lot of money for it. And he's like, well, isn't that a lot? How about $75? Like,
and she gives it up for $75.
Yeah. And this is once again another very funny scene as well, where no guy is getting this cream put on him to make his skin look younger, and the wife is there as well, watching it all happen, and he bribes him to, hide somewhere so he can take his place, and this is where she peels it off and finds out it's him under there, and she thinks it's her husband. She thinks it's her husband as well. They're getting off of each other, and she's like, "What are you doing to my fucking husband? Get off him, Evan! Are you crazy?"
Oh, this is so good.
Yeah, certified priest, and it's like this fucking voodoo
Found
guy.
a priest. It's a voodoo priest. Oh God.
We were both
We're
glad,
both glad we had a religious wedding.
It also does another great thing. It plays on your expectations as well. It's like you can go. It seems like it's going to go straight, but then goes completely ridiculous and it just makes it more funnier. And obviously they've become even richer now, and they've got a fucking butler and a housemaid in that small little house.
In that little tiny house.
Yeah. And it's not Talise that spells it out like, you know what, you could get yourself a bigger place with better quarters for us. And they obviously do, and they get this, really lovely place as well. It's fucking
He's like,
massive.
Mom, remember my dream of how I used to want a plaster lion from Mexico?
And around
it's just like every multimillionaire's ridiculous spending, like the most ridiculous furniture or decorations at ridiculous prices, or even priceless, depending.
Pink chiffon and zebra stripes.
I know, and the clam bath, everything, and a red billiards room with a giant stuffed camel was like, I always wanted them. And they always wanted a disco room full of dancers. And
well, I got that too. Yeah, with S-shaped edges.
And now it's obviously trying to talk to some investors now. And we're skipping ahead there. Yeah, it's the housemaid got caught dipping into a savings account, and she's been fucking executed for it.
That's right.
Yeah, she's also the wife of the butler as well, and he's having to witness her getting fucking executed and having to get over his grief straight away.
Like, oh, you can't hang on to grief for too long or something like that.
Yeah. Hobart. Sorry about your wife, Hobart.
Yeah, federal regulations there. And Maria's giving him this nice gold chain, and he gets that little cocktail.
So
with the bamboo straws.
One of the chains though has a little. One of the chains that he's wearing has a little King Tut emblem on it or pendant on it, because this Steve Martin single King Tut had come out like the year before.
Oh, okay. That's at least Easter egg, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we got
Be somebody.
Yeah, he wants it because he wants to look like the guy in the ad. It's he has no idea how to be a sophisticated millionaire. This is
it, exactly. He's got the money, he just doesn't. He doesn't have breeding. Yeah,
because he's still got that humble sort of like farmyard upbringing, hasn't he? That naivety.
Like, I don't need any charity money. He's like, no, they want money.
Yeah, there's much more to them.
Oh.
No, but these people want you to give. It's like, oh yeah, send them in then. And it's another fucking
juggling the cats.
Freaking cinema right here.
Barbara, you seem like a religious man.
Just every line in this is so good.
The lines are so fucking ridiculous, but but they knew what they were doing, though. They knew what they were doing there. Okay, what's ridiculous but makes sense to this character? And
you just don't get comedy like this anymore. It's like Airplane and stuff like Spaceballs. Like they're trying to make a Spaceballs 2. It's not going to work.
But Josh Gad is making that, I heard.
It'll be. I mean, I think Mel Brooks is involved, but it's just still not going to work. It's like they're trying to make what is it? Naked Gun with Liam Neeson. That's not going to work. You can't do that kind of comedy now.
Yeah, Liam Neeson's
joke and minute comedy. It won't work. It won't work.
He doesn't have that same presence as Leslie Nielsen did. I mean, Liam Neeson is a very good actor, but
he is. I don't think
not a comedian.
Straight out comedy.
Well, this was also lifted from one of his comedy albums, The Cat Juggling.
Oh right, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, a lot of it is though, isn't it?
A lot of it is very skit based. It's like Kevin Smith. Most of oh god, what was it? Clerks 2 was lifted straight from his stand up that he was doing at the time. A lot of his films are based on stuff he comes up with stand up. You know, I suppose you can only have so many ideas.
I see one of the comments asks about Mel Brooks. Yeah, that right there, though. I think Mel Brooks' involvement in Spaceballs 2 is, hey, Mel, we're going to give you a ton of money to put your name on it, and that's
exactly
it.
That,
there's
no
the
way.
man's 98 years old. He's
98.
But still, there's no. I think Josh Gad is working with it too. It's like there's no way Mel Brooks is going to have any leeway whatsoever with that movie.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Josh Gad. If
he does anything, it's going to take the piss out of the fans if Spaceballs 2 does.
And I read that it's supposed to. They're going to apparently have some they're going to make fun of the Star Wars movies too. But Josh Gad is a Disney guy. He's not gonna mock the mouse.
I think it will take the piss out of the fans' reaction.
Oh, of course.
We're going to be the bigots, aren't we? So, because we thought Admiral Holdo was a terrible leader. She was
a terrible leader.
Objectively, she was a terrible leader.
Like Poe's not even saying like, tell me the plan. He's just saying, tell me there is a plan because what you're doing at the moment is absolutely suicidal. And she's just like, no.
I know she caused mutiny to happen instead of disclosing what the plan is. I mean, you got to let your soldiers know what's happening so they can find out how to get how to survive this.
That film is just.
I think they could have tightened it up if they would have had a scene later on, maybe like as soon as the plan kind of unfolds. Maybe she looks at Poe and says, "I couldn't tell you. We had reports of spies in the area. Yeah, I didn't." One little line would have stopped everything. I think.
Yeah, there's so. The thing is that the films could be scripted, and they weren't. they just weren't.
Hello, Adam Gray as well. Sorry, I didn't mention you earlier.
The fact that Disney took those 3 films on and didn't have a plan is, again, like I said about earlier, one of the biggest cinematic crimes in history. Like, just what the hell? Anyway, the jerk, cat juggling.
Yeah, the cat juggling scene as well, and it's you don't know what's coming as well. They say it's something very horrific, and
because you think it's going to be some kind of like human rights or torture or something like that, and then they just get the kittens. You're like, oh, they're going to kill the kittens or something like that. They just start shouting. I know. So ludicrous.
And there's Steve Martin there as well, just being all sleazy and.
Chris, what did you think?
And it probably is dangerous for the cats as well, but it's still funny to fucking watch, though. It is. It's okay.
Well, I mean, he's clearly not juggling real cats.
I know. It's like, it's obviously stuffed animals, but yeah. If you did it to real cats, it would be dangerous, but that's what makes it so funny because it's so cartoonish. It's so
there's a surrealism, as you say. It's oddball comedy. It's just it's mental. Nobody would do it, but they are.
Barbara, could there be a God that would let this happen? You know, I might use this clip in one of my reviews. You know, if I see something in a film that I hate, I'm going to use this clip. Yeah,
you can use that with every Acolyte review ever.
I kind of am tempted, but I think everyone else has made good points about it. I'd just be repeating what they were saying,
there's nothing really different to say. Like if you look online, everyone's saying the exact same. No one's really. It's so obvious how bad it is.
It has been.
It'll probably get me a few. It'll probably get me some more clicks, probably because it's how relevant it is. But I don't know. I want to focus on something that's not
I
the
stopped
acolytes.
reviewing. I even stopped reviewing. I was doing episode by episode, the entire run through of it. It's like, what? I'm not saying anything different online at all.
I'm actually getting more traction pointing out good films that people haven't seen.
That's good.
If I'm being honest.
Yeah,
That's what
people are desperate for good movies these days.
Inside Out 2 as well, and I think it was mostly because it was a really good Disney film, which is very surprising these days.
A very pleasant anomaly, and let's hope it's not just an anomaly and it is some kind of course correction. But you never know. There've been so many anomalies where it's like, oh, that was good, and then it just goes straight back to being complete crap afterwards. Like Andor, I really liked Andor. It was intelligent, it was well written, it was fantastic acting in it. Stellan Skarsgård's monologue was so good, and then we went straight back to Ahsoka, whatever the hell we got on the
But also, the Acolyte really doesn't really further the Star Wars universe at all, I think, because we know how it ends for Cassian, so it's not like we can get 1,000 more seasons of this or an Andor movie. At least with the other ones, you can kind of maybe try like a Mandalorian movie they're making. But with Andor, it was just really great show that can't really do anything for them in the future, which is weird to me.
I'm kind of looking forward. They're bringing Krennic and K2SO into the next one, and that could be interesting seeing the politics. Because one thing that Andor did very well, was it made the Empire look competent.
Yes.
Which no other, you've even got bloody in the Mandalorian, they're showing that stormtroopers are naturally bad shots and stuff like that. It's like, you're making the Empire into a joke. The Andor took a very good political look at the Empire and showed that there are levels of, sort of investigation, and the Empire is competent. And I'm hoping that gets increased, and we see young, we see Krennic working his way up to his position, because that was another thing that I really liked in Rogue One, was the whole Krennic angle. The fact that he's come up with this super weapon, and Tarkin just comes in and takes it. I thought that was brilliant. There's, sort of a power play going on, and it's not just the cartoon cutouts that we get these days in Star Wars.
What a Chad comes in there, steals the guy's invention, takes that as his own.
Exactly, and like
oh yeah,
I think Krennic says something like, "We stand amidst my achievement, not yours." And then Tarkin just goes, "Well, I will of course let the Emperor know that you were involved." And it's just, oh, you dick,
Oh, this is where.
I could hear this in my head while reading this.
I know it's like
so good.
Yeah, we want to keep. We don't want to keep the eggplants out. Good. We don't want any vegetables. Yeah, and they're saying these racial slurs, and he's just assuming it's something else, like the Jungle Bunnies. Is like, which is a very bad racial slur against black people.
Right. The
like,
gentleman here
Jungle Bunnies, because they eat the vegetables. It's like
right.
And they tell him what it means, and he's not fucking happy. It's like
no, he goes all judo, doesn't he? I am a yeah.
The guy in the white
pulls
tie.
off his jacket.
But I say it's all about
chains on him and all,
because they'll be like, they've said those
words. He is a hairy bastard.
He is, yes, he is a silver-chested gorilla.
The guy in the white tie, Iron Balls McGinty. That's also Carl. That's Carl Gottlieb. He was one of the co-writers for the movie. He also co-wrote Jaws.
Oh wow!
Ooh, okay.
Oh damn!
Yeah.
Did he co-write some of the other Steve Martin movies, like The Man with Two Brains?
I'd have to Google that part. This was one of 4 movies that Carl Reiner and Steve Martin did together. Jerk. This was, I think, the first one. The Jerk, The Man with Two Brains, Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid, and All of Me.
I need to watch All of Me. I think that might be it. I think that might be the one where he plays the mobster in the witness protection program. I might be wrong.
No, All of Me is the gender swap thing with Lily Tomlin.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find out the name of that film. What is it? As a Gangster. I remember watching it once, and it was actually very funny. It's been a long time. Mr. Blue Heaven, that's it.
Oh, okay. My Blue Heaven.
My Blue Heaven, yeah.
Yeah.
I showed it to my wife the other day.
It's a bit of the restaurant as well. It's like
He's
like, no more this vintage wine. Let's give some fresh wine. You know, it's like,
as I say, they haven't got the breeding, they've got the money, but he doesn't realise he's dealing with sophisticated people.
Yeah, I know. He's like, he's just. But no,
and they've ordered
because there's snails on the fucking plane. Like,
and they ordered escargot.
Yeah, they don't realise it's snails. I mean, it's like a French dish, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I've eaten snails. Yeah. Quite nice, actually.
I don't care for them. They're far too chewy.
Yeah, they're like really chewy with garlic butter. Quite nice.
Yeah.
Mm.
You can't even see.
Yeah, now give me those melted cheese appetizers. You talked me out of it. They think it's for fools. They don't have bamboo umbrellas full of wine. 2 boobs, that's all it takes us for. He's got his own little red carpet as well, and she's learning loads of stuff. Like, remember how he told me to take...
Is that a matador?
Lessons?
Right.
Yeah, teach knife throwing. And, she's fucking killing it in this outfit, though. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, she is.
I love the shot you had earlier, because he said he takes us for 2 boobs, and there are 2 magnificent boobs on display in that particular scene.
Yeah, she was a gorgeous woman. She's very underrated as well, in my opinion. She's very funny. She can act. She's got an innocence to her as well. You want this guy to marry her. You want to marry her because she's so bloody sweet.
You know, you notice that change in her too, because when he first meets her, she's not exactly busty.
Yeah, she's actually just more dressed more conservative, like, isn't she? She's got that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's not very busty. It's not until she comes into money that you start
becoming more glamorous.
Yeah. Start seeing some boobs.
He randomly got a balloon in his pocket.
Do you have a balloon? Yeah, I do.
Yeah, she goes to throw the knife. Is like, throw them good and hard so they'll stick. And she throws it and she nearly gets his fucking dick. It's like, and she looks really, she looks destroyed as well. She's like,
he consoles her. He's really nice with it. Look, you did good.
I know. He's not being an arsehole to her as well. He's actually trying to cheer her up, and he's got these watercolors.
A wine cooler. The coolers of wine.
A little dispensable crystal
glasses as well. I always love these. I love these actual real kind of like surreal things that you wouldn't get in real life, but
I want that in my life.
Yeah.
I want a water cooler filled with Chablis.
I wonder if you can get them on Temu. I would not be surprised if you can get them on Temu or Sheen. Sorry.
Whatever. I think it's
got
great.
A disco scene as well. Yeah, it's all right. It's a nice little scene where they're just dancing and being having fun, and this is where the downfall happens.
Wrong. Yeah.
All goes wrong. You know, what goes up must come down. And he's looking. He's being real pretentious in his interview. Like, who is Nathan Johnson?
Yeah.
But then, and it looks like they're going to have a good interview, but it turns out, no, there's something. No, this is where aggression is being.
Mm-hmm. So this girl that's like right behind him, she's got the glasses with the optigrab, and she's obviously staring completely. And then as soon as she takes them off, she's cross-eyed.
I think I see it later as well when she leaves.
Yeah,
and she's cross-eyed.
She's like, I'm gonna get in touch with that Reiner guy.
On the left, looks like they're wearing glasses as well.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah, funny.
And they all take off their glasses, and then they all end up cross-eyed.
And it's such a ridiculous thing to fucking tarnish your reputation as well. Like, the optics just make everyone go fucking cross-eyed because it's so shiny, you can't help but look at it, and it fucks up your eyes. It's just stupid.
It's such a great cameo from Carl Reiner. I love it.
Yeah, I love it when because I know there's a lot of directors who have these egos, don't they? But whenever an director puts himself in a film just for a small kind of little minuscule role, and it manages to be good without looking like he's inflating his own ego, you know you got a good one. And he's playing himself, obviously, and
right.
And because of his cockeyedness, a fucking actor has died in one of the accidents because he didn't yell.
Not in time.
And now he's going to get fucking sold. He's going to lose everything now. All the people that was his friends when he had money, they're all gone now after they realise he's going to have nothing. Which is another
life lesson about to be learned.
Yeah. So there's some good life lessons, even though it's very stupid and very ridiculous. But
I think overall, the general attitude, message, and theme of the film is very wholesome. Very wholesome.
I know. And she doesn't care about losing the money as well, except for the stuff, because
it's the stuff.
I don't need anything apart from this.
Yeah. It's just like a parking ticket. Well, instead of $5, it's 10 million. And she says it so innocently as well, that it's losing all the stuff. It's like she never comes across as a shallow gold digger, even when she says it. It's still very endearing. Yeah, we're going to see effects.
The jury's
It's like, he's fucked straight away. He's fucked, and it just gets such a laugh. It does. Yeah, and he's lost the case now. He has to pay fucking God knows how much to all these people. It's
even the judge is cross-eyed.
He has his little van with the bamboo umbrella in his suitcase as well, just in case. Yeah, it's kind of like him out of Trailer Park Boys, where that guy's always seen with the vodka and coke in his hand. Or was it whiskey and coke? I can't remember.
Quite funny because the bit where they're all rich but they're not sophisticated reminds me. You've seen the Harry Enfield show where the slobs become rich. They win.
Oh yeah.
I am a millionaire. But they're
she even tells a butler to wipe her ass for her.
Yes, right. Yeah. James, wipe my ass.
Yeah, if you've not seen a Harry Enfield television program or Harry Enfield and Chums Barbara Lawrence or World War Joe, please do. Very funny. The Women Know Your Limits skit.
Oh, that's so good. Funny. Somebody posted that today because of the election victory for Labour. Somebody posted up today. L is for Labour. L is for lice. The Chumley Warner things for ladies is so good.
So yeah, he's got to write all these fucking checks out to all these bloody people, Jesus Christ.
He's just repossessing stuff in his house too as he's doing this.
Yeah, taking
they're taking shit out.
Yeah, they make the rock bottom feel very real as well. Like everything's been taken from him now. His wife is upset as well. And he's like, I just heard a song on the radio that reminded us of the way we were. What was the song? The way we were. And yeah, this is like the first proper big argument, this big blow they have as well. And it never comes across incredibly mean. It's like enough to make you see that these two now are going through a really bad problem now, and it's caused the breakdown of their marriage. But it never feels too much like animosity as well. You just feel sad that these two are going through it. And
again, there's no malice. There's no malice in the part. He's too innocent for that. It's the fact that they had all this stuff and now the stuff's gone.
That's actually a good line as well. I'm going to buy you a diamond. It makes you want to puke, but I don't want to puke. I just want that same guy who sung with a famous song. And it's so fucking sweet. It is. It's very heartbreaking, even though it's so stupid.
Really, really wholesome. More wholesome than I've seen anything else recently. That's for sure.
I know you can be as ridiculous as you like, but you got to make us care for these characters, even if
he's becoming the jerk. He's become a jerk.
Yeah. Thankfully, he's not become too much of an arsehole to make you hate him. He's like,
no.
Yeah.
You don't hate it. You never hate him.
At no point, you always kind of root for him still.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, she just wants to go back to when things were a bit simple, when none of this horrible shit happened, because that's when they were at their happiest. And yeah, that's so fucking nice and sweet. And
that's the message, isn't it? Money doesn't bring you happiness. It's trappings. It's material possessions, and they're nice and everything, but doesn't
And I think
matter.
he's only really a jack here, is he? Because he allows his despair to fucking get to him and ruin his marriage. And
yeah, it's a sad thing, not an angry thing. You know, it's
yeah, he's not angry. He's just sad that how can things go so fucking bad so quickly?
And this just keeps this gag just keeps going.
It keeps going. Yeah,
keeps picking up the most random stuff.
I know.
And again,
it doesn't take away from the emotional toil they're going through either. You're laughing, but at the same time, you still feel bad for them.
But again, this was something that was taken from his stand-up.
Right.
Yeah, Steve Martin was such a fucking comedic genius back in the day. He could do.
He's got his pants around his ankle.
Yes, I know. It's like he's so depressed. He doesn't care that his trousers are hanging at his bottom. That's how you know someone's going through a really rough time now. He's got the 5 o'clock shadow. He's in his dressing gown. His pants are down. It's like I need my dog.
I don't need my dog.
Yeah, shithead's a fucking asshole. He's like he fucks him off when he needs. He does. But that's dogs, though. That's dogs. They're happy for you when you have something for them. My dog's like that, and but we love her. Yeah, she'll do stuff for us unless she won't do anything unless we have a treat for her. That's how selfish she is. But they're fucking great animals to have.
That's my cat.
I'm currently petting my dog right now. He's upset I haven't given him belly rubs this whole time.
Oh, that's very fun. Yeah, and he gets on the bus and he goes, I don't know where this is actually. But yeah, he's walking around in public, just not caring. And he sees that woman.
Thermos, yeah.
And I think, is it exactly how he described in the song?
It is.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's a really, really good setup and payoff.
Yeah,
vinyl
and stripes with
that makes it really more tragic as well.
It's such a random, innocuous thing that he says in the bathtub, and then it comes back, and it's just like,
I know.
And now he's clinging to it.
Yeah,
I know, and it's like he just gave up everything that he only needs just for that thermos. Like he doesn't need that stuff. He wants the thermos.
The thermos represents Murray.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
That's what he wants more than anything. He doesn't want the stuff that he took out of the house. He wants that.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's kind of crazy that one little thermos line was like, it almost could have been a throwaway line. If you blinked, you would have missed it. Meanwhile, we have $300 million Rise of Skywalker where Finn is screaming, I have to tell you something 10 times, and we didn't get a payoff. Right. But we got a payoff from a thermos line while he's taking a bath.
The Rise of Skywalker was 3 MacGuffin races chases in a row. And I'm just like,
like we're never going to see things like this ever, or at least for a very long time.
Yeah, it's ruined. They're waiting for George Lucas to die so they can remake the trilogy. That's what they're waiting for now.
Yeah, that's why these new films really need to start going back to these old movies and actually look at little things like callbacks and setups, and payoffs, and just little moments like the famous. It may not seem, it seems insignificant, but
and the thing is, a lot of films do it these days, but they're really obvious and they stand out instantly because they're not clever with it. So there's been a lot of films recently where I've seen something and I'm like, you focused on that. I know that's going to come back later. It's not just in the background of a shot or something like that. You've actually focused on it for a whole couple of seconds and we know it's going to come into play. So there's a subtlety to the writing that's been completely lost because they think the audience are idiots.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, look at that Damsel movie with Millie Bobby Brown. There's a scene where, there's a scene in the cave where she has to set this little contraption with a fire, and not once before did that payoff happen did I see any setup for it. I was like, it was not. Was there a scene where she was
so bad?
That was a bad movie.
Remember the Black Widow movie where they kept focusing on the family album? It just continuously kept cutting to just that in the shot, and that's it. It's like. The people going to the theaters aren't that stupid. You don't have to spell it out for them like that.
Yeah, exactly. That is it. There's an art to being implicit rather than explicit.
Yeah.
And to allowing the audience to connect the dots. And Hollywood just seems to have kind of
they forgot about it.
Yeah, they just assume everybody's stupid now and they need everything spelled out for them, and they don't. There's something to be said for the art of allowing the audience to connect the dots and do some work.
And honestly, if you just allow your audience to do that, the audience is going to be grateful for it because they're going to feel so smart.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
Yeah, you treat your audience like grown-ups.
But if you treat them like children, then
Yeah, even kids' movies treat children like grown-ups as well. I mean, Mask of the Phantasm is fucking brilliant. I mean, that scene where Bruce Wayne is begging for his parents' forgiveness that he just because he's found someone and he's happy.
Yes,
that says everything about the character without spelling it out.
I'll tell you what, Batman the Animated Series I watched again recently. I watched the whole thing on Netflix, and there is so much good adult themes and material in that.
Yeah, there really is.
And you just don't get it anymore.
And the acting is quality.
It is really good. There's one where he imagines his parents are still alive or something, and it's
so
episode. It's that's it, and it's so good. There's so much good material in that TV series, and I just see stuff these days. I'm just a grumpy old man now, but I'm just like, it wasn't like that back in the day. You know,
I barely even bother with modern TV shows. I just watch my stuff on Freevee and Tubi, and that's just all the old stuff.
Yeah, it was definitely.
I'm still watching Miami Vice as well. I mean, fucking hell, that's
oh yeah.
Yeah, that show did not give a fuck. That could the bad guys win a lot in that show, and it's got some balls. It really does.
But that's good, That's good to have these. As I say, the problem, one of the main problems with DEI is the constrictions that it puts on creative writing. There are certain things that you cannot do now with certain demographics. You can't show them a certain way, and all that does is constrict your ability to be able to tell stories, and it's not good. Provided it doesn't become a trope or it doesn't come, every single time, then it's fine. But to have certain people and demographics that are immune to certain kind of portrayals is an extremely worrying narrative trend.
I know even Team America does a very good narrative, and that's like a satire.
I've been watching your watch through of that, and it reminded me how much I fucking love that film. I've never seen the director's cut either. I'm gonna have to download that or find a copy of it somehow because I didn't know.
Toxic managed to find that.
He was watching the wrong version, wasn't he?
Yeah, because I could hear him going, "Oh," and there's like. He's watching the director's cut, isn't he? He's watching that version.
So many, there are so many awesome, clever jokes in that as well, in that film.
Yeah, but it still does the character development beats as well, the hero's journey, and that very well, even though it's basically.
And even then, it's taking tropes and making taking the piss out of them and stuff like that. But he's doing it in a very clever way, and the same goes for South Park. Longer Uncut, I think it was. Is it longer something?
Bigger, longer
Uncut. That's it. Yeah. And I'm going to see that again in the cinema next month, and I can't wait because again, that is such a clever film. You just wouldn't get it these days. The whole idea that South Park is constantly criticized for things like the language and stuff like that, and they're making a film where language becomes the overbearing thing, and it doesn't matter about the fact there's a war breaking out and all that kind of stuff, and loads of people are dying because as long as the language is protected. And on a meta level, it's so clever, and it's something we just don't get these days. And I know Trey Parker and Matt Stone said they never want to make another film together, but I really hope they do.
They will.
Like Hollywood,
the money will be there. They'll do it.
Oh yeah, they've got to. I mean, they kind of saw doing little mini movies with South Park.
Yeah, the South Park specials are of that length, but they are still just South Park.
At some point, they'll probably make a Book of Mormon.
Oh man, that was so funny.
Good.
I saw that for the first time last year.
Yeah, I hope that's good.
Their songwriting.
I did actually see a recording of it on YouTube as well. Someone recording the stage shot, and fucking hell, it was funny. It was really funny.
The songs are so good.
Even Josh Gad was actually tolerable in it and all.
Yeah, he wasn't too bad. Yeah, he wasn't too bad in that.
Now look at him.
But he's a lot of celebrities have gone that way. But Trey Parker and Matt Stone, I don't get enough credit. I think they are absolute geniuses for what they have done with South Park and Team America.
Yeah, Nick's you're fucking right there. I know the character went up the stairs if the character doesn't tell me he went up the stairs. It's like in
the Acolyte, you've literally got characters telling the character things that they know just so the audience know. And it's, what are you doing? There's so many other ways you can do this more effectively, and Yeah, I mean,
there's ways of getting around exposition, isn't there? Like maybe a little conversation, but and make it sound natural. Don't make it sound like exposition. Make it sound like dialogue, and you can do that. But
literally, you get one character tell another character, "Oh, you're so strong and brave," and this, and it's like in the past, you'd identify that from the character's actions, and you would know, and that was what allowed you to identify with people. Whereas now, you're told that a certain character is this and that, and the sort of vindication,
and you just have to accept it.
Exactly, yeah. It's the writing is some of the worst I've ever seen.
Yeah, you have to accept this badly written character that
hasn't shown me anything.
Yeah. Captain Marvel did that. Remember, her friend was telling her in the bar, "You're so strong and you're so helpful," and everyone was like, "I haven't seen any of this at all." What do you mean?
That's what I'm.
Don't gaslight me, cinema.
You're being told what to believe.
Yes, exactly. And there's no faith in the audience to be able to put this stuff together, unfortunately. Which is a shame.
I know and audiences are getting turned off as well, because even people that don't realise, aren't very oblivious to the whole show don't tell thing about the visual medium of film. I mean, even they kind of know deep down subconsciously, because we all used to watch Disney films, and Disney films back in the day used to tell us visually without having to spell it out for us.
Absolutely, and that was one of the joys of animation.
Kids can figure it out as well. I mean,
kids ain't. Well, I don't know about now, but kids never used to be that stupid. Mm. You could have jokes that would work on multiple levels, and you'd have a joke where a kid would be thinking like, "Oh, that's funny, ha ha ha," and then the adult would get another level of humor out of it, and the kid's like, "Oh, I don't get that," but the adult's like, "Oh, right, yeah, there's something." And it's been done recently. Like there was one with Zootopia, which I thought was actually a very good animated film and quite clever. It was well written. And there's one where they say something like, "Oh, bunnies are good at multiplication," and it's like,
I'll give you an even better example. So my son was very little, very into Sesame Street, loved Elmo, and Susan Sarandon was like the celebrity guest on the show, right? And she shows up, and it's raining, and she's got a newspaper over her head, and she goes, "Maybe there's a phone in that castle." And and I started laughing so hard, but then it transitions into her going into the castle, and it's seeing the count, and making a count to 10 or whatever it was. But I was dying. That was so funny to me.
Yeah, exactly. And the kid's not going to
get my son's not going to get that reference. He doesn't know Rocky Horror,
Yeah, and I miss clever stuff. And you do see it sometimes. You do see it. There's outliers. There are films that still do it. But in general, Hollywood content, especially when you're talking about anything from Disney, it's bottom tier. It really is.
I know. We're coming up to the end of the movie.
Yeah, we're coming up to the heartwarming. Again.
Yeah, he's down his luck, but his family still try and look out for him. And there's like, how did your family? He's like, we don't know. This is the first place we looked.
Yes. He's like, get in the back, you smell.
His wife called him about the night he left as well. And it's like, even though he was being a bit of a jerk, she still went out of her way to try and find him and try and get him back. And because she loves him.
Well, that's the thing. You can have nothing, but if you've got family, you're a rich man, isn't it? That's the thing, isn't it? So that's the message, and it's a really nice wholesome.
And plus, there's a little bit of hope in there as well. Like, he's lost all his money, but the family have started to be have started to.
Yes, you can see them more affluent.
Do well financially as well. Yeah, he says it was a periodic investment, but it's like, it was he just leverages ass deep inside.
Yeah. And they're all dressed a little bit nicer. They have a nicer car. It's not flashy. It's family.
I know.
And when you get to the house, the bigger house,
it still looks like a shack.
It's just like 10 feet bigger.
It's only a little less rickety looking.
Yeah.
Less rickety looking, but it makes it funny, and it's true to the family as well. They're very humble people. Even if they get a bigger place, it's got to look very fucking humble. And
well, the money hasn't changed them. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's the
yeah,
point.
and it's done visually without it's being spelled out to you. I love that.
Yeah.
Just love that. But I like the fact that even though she doesn't care about him being there, she'll still kiss him. But it's the fucking smell that's putting her off.
Oh, the smell.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You better get back with the dog.
And they
It's
actually have
window.
shit in it.
Wind down the window.
Yeah, and it's a nice happy ending. It's very stupid. It's got a little bit of cynicism in there, but it never goes full on nihilistic or bleak or totally miserable or too dark. Despite the fact that the housekeeper got killed for dipping into a baby.
Right.
She was British. Americans don't care. But there's not a malicious moment in this movie at all. There's not a nasty moment. There's not a mean-spirited moment. It's just a really nice, comedy, oddball comedy film with a really nice message. So I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it.
I know it's fun. It's a fun movie. You can just rewatch it over and over again because it doesn't fuck about. It doesn't drag. It's very nicely paced. 1 hour and 33 minutes.
Yeah, it's 90. It's just over 90 minutes in and out.
Yeah.
Which is, that's another art that has been absolutely lost these days.
Yeah, and it was a very successful film. I mean, it had it only had a $4 million budget, and it grossed over $100 million.
Wow,
so it was a very
huge
return, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's another thing that Hollywood needs to learn to do is to reduce your budgets because that's the only way you're going to make money now.
Well, that's why horror movies and like rom-coms usually do so much better because they're not really putting that much into it, the production.
Yeah.
Horror seems to be really getting on track at the moment. We've had Late Night with the Devil. We've got
I saw that recently. Yeah,
that was a great film. I really, really enjoyed that. That
Damon
Malston, his name. He's kind of really good in stuff. He is. I think I'm going to be keeping an eye on his acting career because I think he's another one of those very good actors.
I think after that movie, his phone's going to be ringing a lot more after that.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I was impressed with him in Suicide Squad. When he played,
I was going to say he did that. He was in Oppenheimer recently, and
so good. And he was in Oppenheimer. Yeah.
He's been in loads. He's been in The Dark Knight. He's been in Gotham. He's always good. Blade Runner 2049 is and I even liked his little role in that Voyage of the Demeter. He was very good in that.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Was a bit average.
Yeah, I remember that film. Yeah. That did terribly at the box office. That did. It really did bad, and it wasn't that bad a film.
No, well, a lot of the problem is the marketing. Sometimes you don't really see these movies being advertised at all. Like Kevin Costner has a movie out
with Steve Zahn. That barely got any fucking coverage, and I watched that a while back, and it might be one of my favorite films of this year, up there with Inside Out 2 now and Society. I don't know if Society of the Snow was December last year, but it was definitely January this year over here. But I might be wrong. I can't remember now. But yeah, this movie is 5 hours too short. We need a sequel or TV show adaptation. There actually was a straight-to-TV sequel to this. But
I didn't know
it's
that.
supposed to be a pilot to a future TV series spin-off, but it apparently never happened.
Not sure where you can take the concept, really, to be honest. I think it's kind of fun. Anything you do is going to be repeating, this has got the 3-act structure, it's got the through line, it's got the happy ending, more or less. That's it.
Yeah. And the problem is the YouTubers, what promoter talk about Horizon, Land of Bad. Let's bitch about the Acolyte for 8 goddamn weeks. Yeah, we do. Yeah, because I'm all for calling out the shit that Star Wars has become, but we got to focus on other things that are out as well. And
I'd rather promote a good film than a bad one, if I'm being honest.
I know.
I know
because I think I still talked about the Fallout TV show, which actually I didn't mind, despite a few problems with the writing.
I enjoyed it. I wouldn't say it was amazingly well written. I wouldn't say all the characters were great, but I enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed that film. I thought, was it Ella Purnell?
Yeah, she's very good. She's very
good
good.
in it. And Walton Goggins was the star of the show.
He's always good.
He's always the star of the show. He's good in everything. I loved him in Justified.
The only thing I really hated about Fallout was the
program.
ending, and the fact that I saw the ending coming miles off. Spoilers. The white man would be the bad guy. I was just like, oh, of course. And responsible for the woman doing all the evil things at the start. And I was just like, yeah, of course, she's vindicated by it all being a white man's fault, which I've seen so many times now that I can see it a mile coming off. But yeah, it was all right. Yeah, I was going to say, Blue Collar Loser, I could not believe, I predicted nothing would do $1 billion this year, and Inside Out 2 did. I was just like, whoa.
I haven't seen it, but honestly, I'm pleased as punch that that's done as well as it has.
I'm hoping that they learn a lesson from it, because there was a lot of people going, oh, it's going to be woke, it's going to be woke, it's going to be woke. And then when people found out it wasn't woke, and that shouldn't necessarily be an indication on whether or not a film is good, but when people found out it was safe, it started making money hand over fist.
I'd like to touch on that, though, because I did many reviews, videos about Dennis, whatever his Villeneuve, whatever his name is. He is terrible in interviews, because I got many different quotes from him saying that when they were writing the movie, they said the goal of the movie is women. That's a direct quote he said when talking to the writer of it and everything. So all he does when he talks to the media is push the agenda. But when you see his movies, the agenda is not there.
Yep, it's what I called anti-marketing. So I did a film on my channel called The Big Breakup. Unfortunately, the audio is a little bit dodgy on it, but I just check it out anyway. I talk about the reasons why movies are failing. And one of the big ones is anti-marketing. Like Dungeons and Dragons, there was nothing wrong with that film, but they were going around saying, "Oh, we've emasculated the men, and we're making it, or making the men look weak and everything like that." It's like, that's not how to get somebody to see your film. Say the film is fun. Say that there's loads of references to the game. It's anti-marketing, and some of the biggest examples I can think of was Rings of Power. This is a redress of a necessary balance, and this is the first time there's been a black female dwarf in it, and this is like, nobody cares.
Yeah, no one cares about it. Make it good. Who cares what it is?
What was good about it? Why do you think it was good? Why was it fun? Why do I want to go and see this film? And no, because it's got 2 gay people in it, it's going to save lives, is not going to
that's not a reason.
No, what the fuck are they on about? It's like
And Dennis also said that you didn't have to see the first Dune movie to understand the second one. It's like, of course you had to see the first one.
I've not seen the second one yet. I've not watched the first one since it came out, but I really need to rewatch both though.
The second one was visually spectacular, but Denis Villeneuve said he would like to make a film with no dialogue in it, and it shows in Dune 2.
Yeah,
there's a hell of a lot of sweeping vista shots and things like that with nobody speaking that expands the length of the film greatly. And there is great stuff in Dune 2, but at the same time, I think
the problem is, without spoiling, because I know a few people said they didn't actually see Dune 2 yet, though. I think I know where the third one's going, and I think that's when the message and certain the other little things are going to come out, because it's kind of leading that way. And as I'm watching it, I'm thinking, no, he's right. Why are people disagreeing with this guy?
Yeah, as soon as the end of the film happened, with what happens at the end of the film, again, no spoilers, I was like, oh, they're definitely taking this somewhere.
I hate Zendaya and everything.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I really hate that Hollywood is gaslighting us into making it think that Zendaya is the hottest thing in Hollywood. Every commercial for Challengers was telling me this was the sexiest movie ever. Please stop doing that, Hollywood.
Yeah, it wasn't. I watched
stop gaslighting me
for a fucking hour, and I was and I wanted to fucking leave. I wanted a refund. I wanted a refund, and I was in my own house when I watched it.
One of the problems with Zendaya is I don't think she has any natural charisma.
No,
she hasn't.
Charisma of acting.
You could have taken her out of Dune 2, and the movie still essentially goes the same. I think.
Pretty much, yeah.
One scene was maybe the difference maker, but you could have taken her out of the movie, and all the events would have happened the exact same way.
Yeah, but then you haven't got a strong female woman. As Babs says, there's nothing.
You had the mother.
There's nothing wrong with all that kind of stuff, but yeah,
you had Lady Jessica. She was the strong female character that was bashing people with rocks in the beginning.
Rebecca Ferguson, she was great.
Yeah, she's great though.
Yeah, she's always good. And she actually plays the strong women very convincingly as well. And
she's a strong feminine strength, not a masculine strength.
Not overbearing at all. She just plays it perfectly and everything. I think she was in that Stephen King. It was like, what was that movie? Damn, not Black Hat. I forgot. I'm sorry, guys.
Dr. Sleep.
Dr. Sleep, yes, that was the one. Yes.
Oh, that's the sequel to The Shining.
The Shining, yeah. I thought she was great in that one.
Yeah, it was great until she starts getting her ass handed to her by a little girl.
Oh, that was later on, though.
I know, because that really ruined the character as well.
You had 90% of it good, and then you dropped the ball at the end, though, for me.
Yeah, right. I know, it's weird because these people have been sucking shining powers out of these fucking kids for years, and they've making them more powerful, making them live longer. Then you get this girl that's practically been alive for 5 minutes compared to them, and she's just fucking overpowering them all. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It really took me out of it.
No, it's like
Not
going
good.
back to the Acolyte, sadly, that bloody Padawan, Jeki. You know, the Sith Lord goes in there and slaughters like 6, 7 Jedi without breaking a sweat. And then this one Padawan holds him up like on her own.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, please, no, please. Just some
Is
consistency.
she fine, though? Like, I didn't see the new episode, but is she fine, though, after what happened?
No, she's not.
Oh,
Not yet.
really?
Not
Because
yet, anyway,
you're telling me,
no.
a
As far as we
lightsaber
know-
killed someone in Star Wars universe?
As far as we know, she's totally dead.
Oh, because we've seen people get stabbed with lightsabers throughout the past few shows that they've made with Ahsoka and other ones, and people get stabbed in the stomach and
Yeah.
are completely
Yeah,
fine
again,
afterwards.
Oh,
Like-
yeah, they're fine afterwards.
Yeah,
Lightsabers got
Could somebody please tell that to poor Qui-Gon Jinn?
yeah,
the poor bastard.
yeah, just a flesh wound.
Walk it off, buddy. You're gonna be fine.
Ovaries. It's ovaries that
Yeah.
make you immune to lightsabers. Without those, you should.
Yeah. Well, I said her species have her organs in her butt or
used to be a
something.
really threatening thing, a cool thing. You could chop people up. You could chop down metal fucking
Doors and stuff.
obstructions, anything.
Now
and,
it's a
and
flashlight.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
yeah,
you
yeah.
can handle
Dude's
a helmet.
headbutting lightsabers. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
But yeah, I'm done with Star Wars. I'll stick to the original trilogy. I've got the specialized versions on Blu-ray, so
love those.
I'm back to, when Dial of Destiny came out, I was like, okay, no, I'm sorry. I'm back to there's only 3 Raiders of the Lost Ark movies. That's it. and now I'm at a point where it's Star Wars. No, there's only 3. There's only 3 movies.
yeah, 3, and then skip to the end of Crystal Skull where Indy marries Marion, and that's it. He's got his happy ending. He's got his son. There.
Yeah, that'd be for a story.
Mm.
Yep. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I think that's one of the few things that I liked about the new Beverly Hills Cop movie, because I think there might have been a couple of scenes where the daughter looks like it was undermining him, but apart from that, it did not turn him into a sad old man. He still kind of got that grab.
Didn't assassinate the character, basically.
It was I watched it. It was okay to me.
Yeah, it was okay.
It relied a little bit too heavily on nostalgia.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, there was parts where the old songs were played, felt really tacked on during the action scenes. I'm not gonna lie, it's very distracting.
But
I feel like that's easy mode for Hollywood at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, we'll make it nostalgia based.
Well, that's what Bob Iger said. He says they're making sequels and spin-offs because it takes very, very little marketing to do so.
Yes.
It's like you're Disney. All you have to do is put out a YouTube video and you're going to get 100 million views on it. People know you exist.
The Acolyte is apparently doing amazingly well, better than any other series. But when they say that, they're saying on engagement, because people are talking about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're reading them
good.
And
like, reading the numbers wrong.
Yeah, like because it says there are other more worthy things that should be talked about, and as he also correctly says, next it will be Rings of Power.
Apparently it's all a big con as well, because I was speaking to Inside Man about this once, and he's already said this on one of my other streams anyway, so it's not totally private. It's a very big, complex fucking scam involving shareholders and everything, and even when it flops, they still get paid out of a pittance.
Oh, almost certainly. Absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, you can take any set of data and you can manipulate it to look like nearly anything. You really can. So you can say, and with the Acolyte, they were like, okay, well, it's the strongest debuting streaming new thing this year. Like, oh, that sounds amazing. And then you look into it and there's only been one other new thing this year.
Yeah.
But it sounds amazing because of the way you've manipulated the words. So yeah, that's what spin doctors are for at the end of the day. And they're quite good at their jobs. Yes, Wall-E, the first half of that film is art. It is absolute art.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because you want these two to get together, and not once do they say a fucking word to each other at all.
It's so well done, and that's what Pixar would do. The absolute best at. I would
Yeah,
also say the first 10 minutes of Up. The first 10 minutes of Up are just absolutely phenomenal. The story that gets told there.
Same thing with Up. The first 20 minutes where it's just a couple's life just going by in like 20 minutes and no words are said. You care about these two, and it is heartbreaking when she dies.
Oh yeah, no, it's really. I mean,
there's two really heartbreaking moments within a 20-minute period when she loses the baby, and when she passes away, and you're just like gutted. You're gutted.
So cleverly because they have this jar they're saving up for, and then they have to dip into it for some roof repairs and stuff like that. And the way the music plays against it, it's one of those brilliant things that can be done with cinema, where you have the perfect blend of visuals and music. And there is a word for it, and I can't remember what it is, but there's a word for when those two blend perfectly. And another example for me, no dialogue, but the perfect moment is when Luke's fighting Vader in the Emperor's throne room. And the music swells, and you get that kind of chant going, and then you get the crescendo as there's no words, but he's just bashing against his father with the lightsaber until eventually he chops his arm off. And then Luke looks at his own hand and realizes what he's becoming. And there's no dialogue spoken in that entire section of about 4 minutes, just the music doing the work, and it's so good.
I would even say the Halo games have done a great job with that too, up until recently, where the Master Chief's in a helmet the entire time, yet you know every emotion he's feeling the entire time.
The voice acting is that good.
Yeah. And then and now the show comes out, and he's constantly taking off his helmet, and we see him butt naked showering and losing his virginity. It's like, this is not Halo.
No, it's the mystery, isn't it? We don't want that. We don't want. It's like the Man with No Name. We don't want to find out how he became the way he was. It's the mystery of the character that made him so compelling. And same thing with Spartan.
Solo film comes out.
What did you say your name was, Mister? I didn't. I love that.
You're standing on your own, so we'll call you Solo. Oh, what? Really?
Oh, fuck that. Oh, God, that made me so mad.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah.
You didn't need to explain that for us.
I didn't need to know about the dice. Okay, I didn't care.
You mean no one knows? He just had the dice up there, and then they just barely talked about it.
Yeah.
Black Lives or Black Knives. That is my biggest problem with every single change that was made in any of the films. That they had Lucas ruin Vader's sacrifice. That moment where he's silent and he's watching the Emperor destroy his son. You have no idea what's going through his head. You can't think, and you cannot verbalize that. And just having him go, no.
Yeah, because it's the way he's tearing his head and looking back at the Emperor, then looking at Luke again. You can see he's conflicted.
You're thinking what's racing through his mind.
Yeah. And this is my son getting fucking killed, but at the same time, I'm loyal to this guy. What do I do? And that's when he makes that quick decision to
absolutely nailed it. That particular moment is just horrific. For me, it's the most damage, even more than Greedo shooting after Han.
God.
I know, because Han Solo's a fucking maverick, isn't he? Of course he's going to shoot first and ask questions later. Plus, Greedo was going to fucking kill him. He even said
Han Solo should be the only one to shoot because he's a scoundrel. He's a rogue. He's
those character development as well. He starts off as this this guy who'll kill when he needs to, and
he's a smuggler. He's a hustler.
Yeah, and it makes
a bit of a rogue.
It makes his redemption all the more fulfilling when he saves Luke Skywalker from Darth Vader in the
absolutely. I mean, Han Solo has a superb character arc in the films, and I do agree that he probably should have been killed off in Return of the Jedi, like he wanted to.
Yeah, because he's just there in the third one, isn't he? I mean, Harrison Ford's doing okay, but he's just kind of just there, and that's it.
Well, you can tell Harrison Ford's kind of phoning it in. He's not.
He never really cared about Han Solo.
Oh,
he's the most miserable guy in Hollywood.
He cared about Indiana Jones, but he never cared about Han Solo. And he tried to get him off in Return of the Jedi. He said, look, he's got nothing to live for. He's got no family or anything like that. Kill him off. And I think that would have been a really good moment in Return of the Jedi, to be honest.
I know. Plus, he's sacrificing himself to Leia and Chewie, and
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
3PO can live, can't they? And it's a very selfless act that he's willing to do for the people he cares about, people he's grown to care for, and he's never been the type of person to care for people. He's been out for himself up to that point.
Well, that's what makes Iron Man, Tony Stark's sacrifice, so good in Endgame, because it goes all the way back to the first Avengers first Avengers film. You know, you're not the kind of man lie on the wire. I think it is. Is this not man to lie on the wire? And like, Tony Stark's just like, I'd find a way to cut the wire.
And this time he doesn't cut the wire. He lays on the wire.
He lays on the wire. He makes the sacrifice, and that's an amazing arc, an amazing character arc. And what have we had in 2 phases of Marvel since? Nothing. Absolutely.
Just pure fucking narcissism. Girl boss, white man bad. Fucking
exactly.
Falcon going, you gotta do better, Senator. You gotta step up. Stop calling them terrorists, even though they killed innocent people.
That was embarrassing.
The only good thing out of that show is John Walker.
Yeah.
Only character in that had a beginning, middle, and end, and a redemption arc, lead into sequels. Everyone else, I mean, Sam started off where he gave away the shield. He started off where he had the shield, gave it away, and then got it back at the end. Bucky was kind of at the end of Endgame, but then apparently he's psychotic and going to therapy, and at the end he's fine. So, and Zemo started off in prison and then ended up in prison. So they all went in the exact same circle.
I mean, I did like the bits, some of the bits with Bucky, like the bit where he found the guy whose son he killed.
Yeah, those are very provocative.
That was good.
I've seen this killer trying to come to terms with his violent past. Yeah, this almost looked like it was going to be a good show, but no, it turned into a total fucking racial.
Oh, it was awful. The whole bit where Falcon can't get a loan in the bank.
It's always tough for people like this. Like, you're part of a failing family fishing business, and you expect the bank to just give you money? What are you talking? Do you know how loans work?
Yeah.
No, plus, loans are very fucking picky people. If you've got a bad credit rating, no matter what colour you are, they'll fucking refuse it. Even if you do have good credit rating, they'll fucking refuse it. Because
Sam's not making... Where's Sam's money coming from?
Well, the thing is, like, I mean, Tony Stark would have set up an allowance or a stipend or something like that for all the Avengers.
He could have gone to Pepper Potts and say, hey, can you help me out, please?
Exactly.
And she would have more than welcomely helped him.
They saved the planet. They saved the universe as we know it. None of them are going short for money. You know what I mean? It's just pathetic.
Well, he did fuck up with the Vulture, though. I mean, he could have compensated the Vulture for all the fucking things they salvaged from his job back in the past.
Yeah, again, that would have taken 2 seconds, would it? I mean, you know, unfortunately, I think up until Endgame, Marvel, there's a few points here and there that are, a few problems. There's a few duds. But
it's mostly the middle bit where they're going back in time that kind of really drags it.
I'm not talking about the film itself. The film itself is heavily flawed because as soon as you put time travel into anything, you've got problems. But I'm talking about the 26th run of Marvel run. There's a few dud films in there, but in general, that 26th, there's an arc that goes all the way across, and it's really well done, and we'll probably never see it again. But since then, they've not even tried. I don't know what I don't know what Marvel are doing, and I don't know how long it's going to last for before they have to reboot it.
Yeah, I mean,
they should have taken it.
Wars are gonna.
I did watch Echo, but only because I had to, and even that wasn't fucking trying, and it was just a fucking stupid, lazy, fucking churned out piece of crap that ruined Kingpin as well.
What's that? Sorry.
What show? Echo? You said?
Echo, yeah.
I didn't watch Echo.
But she healed him at the end and took away his pain, right? And now he's gonna.
The thing is, he had a good fucking lesson. You have a lot of pain. Use it. I know. Yeah. The villain makes a good point. Oh wait, the villain made the point. Is a white villain made the point? Oh no, we can't have that. Take away his pain.
But then he's gonna go to New York, run for mayor, and become a bad guy. I know.
It's
took away his pain, though.
I don't. Yeah. It's obviously not going to get a second series, and
don't think that it might. She's already talking about her fan casting for the villain. She wants to fight the Green Goblin. She says,
"Get out!"
Yeah, but it was William Dafoe one, and she even said, "Oh yeah, it's a different multiverse." She said, "Oh well, it's Marvel. They can figure it out." It's like, do you even watch the movies? You're not fighting the Green Goblin.
I really do wish that after Endgame, they had just taken a huge break.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, they
give
should have, definitely.
and really think hard and storyboard out and make a clear path as to how you wanted to continue this.
Do some street
and
level
that way, and then that way you give people a chance to breathe.
Yep, to miss
and
it
appreciate and still appreciate it. Yeah, and right, and that's what I was going to my point. And miss it. I loved Endgame. I really did. It has its flaws, but it was a good, solid ending to a great run.
Yeah, because there was a lot of build up as well. The build up to that end, that classic, that climax where all the Avengers, everyone, the army of Wakanda's coming. That is brilliant, and
apart from
feels
the
earned.
all girl
shit.
That was cringy as fuck.
Oh yeah, it was.
But no,
the gal bits, yeah, that was great.
Even I thought that was awful.
But the moment when Cap takes Mjolnir,
yeah.
Wow,
so
theaters exploded.
Right. My theater exploded too when Cap
you
picks up Mjolnir, and then and just like 2 seconds later, you hear on your left, and then the portals start opening, and the crowd went nuts again. It was a good, satisfying ending to a great run of films. And it was a mostly great run of films.
Yeah, there's a few parts, as I say, but it was a cinema event, and we don't.
Yeah, it was. And they try to give you cinematic events, and they fail miserably at it.
You know, I mean, I went to Endgame to go, and quite a lot of the last few Marvel films, I went to the midnight showings. Now I don't even bother going to see it on day release.
We did get our tickets for Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm cautiously optimistic.
I think it's gonna be nothing but member berries, because all the trailers, everything that's being leaked. It's like, hey, remember this guy from this? Is there a story in this movie?
I think with Ryan Reynolds, I think because he has genuine affection for the characters, I think it will come through okay.
I think that's kind of my selling point, is that Ryan Reynolds has a genuine love of this character, as does Hugh Jackman for Wolverine. I think that's the only reason why I feel cautiously optimistic about it.
I think it'll be like maybe Guardians of the Galaxy 3, that was still successful, apparently.
The whole TVA aspect of it is what's cringy to me.
Yeah,
but, from the start makes no sense.
But I'm cautiously optimistic that these two will at least give me a couple of good laughs going in.
Yeah, I think we'll get an anomaly. I don't think it will indicate a revival or a saving of Marvel in any way. No. But I think it'll be a happy anomaly, a third decent Deadpool film, and that'll just round out as a free film that's okay to watch. Like the Guardians of the Galaxy, I think the three Guardians of the Galaxy films, although they're not all brilliant, I think they're all a perfectly decent watch, and all of them have something to offer, which is more than I can say for most of the films that Marvel are releasing at the moment. The Marvels was an embarrassment, an absolute embarrassment. How that cost 270 million, I will never know.
I didn't even see it. I don't want to see it.
No, I didn't see it. I didn't go and see it.
I don't have any. There's no relatability to any of those characters. Not one.
Nope. Nothing at all.
And I'm a woman, and I find nothing about it relatable.
What's her name? Imani? Veli Imani?
Yeah, she was the only one who seemed to have some kind of personality, but she's kind of a one-note fangirl.
She's just constantly talking about, yes, this is what the company should do, and she knows all this stuff. It's like, you were in a show that was the least watched Marvel show out there. You were in a movie that is the least watched Marvel. I mean, one of the biggest box office flops, and now they're going to put her in the Young Avengers. I mean, with the Marvels, you could kind of justify on paper that it could exist because it is a sequel to $1 billion movie. I understand it came out after Endgame, but still, $1 billion is still $1 billion. And you have an Oscar-winning actress. So on paper, you can say, yes, the Marvels, it's going to make money. But now we're going to go with the Young Avengers, where all the characters are based from the shows that no one really liked and movies that weren't really that great. So where's the justification for that one?
Yeah, I don't see the Young Avengers going
No.
ahead. If I'm being
They're going to
honest.
have to do it, though,
Yeah.
because they've dug themselves too deep, and you're not going to cancel the movie with the main brown girl. You can't do that in today's thing.
I think where they
They
go
haven't
from
exactly
here
given
is
us characters to sort of like, and they haven't developed them either. They've just thrown them in there, and that's it.
it's like Ironheart. Who wants to see Ironheart?
Nobody.
No.
Nobody wants to see
Nobody.
Ironheart. She was so insufferable in Wakanda Forever.
I think we need Ironheart. Call me crazy, because I think what happens with Ironheart, and I said this before though, I think Ned is going to go to the same college with her, because I think they're all going to the same college, and I think he's going to learn how to become the Hobgoblin from her technology. That's my theory of it, because they're all going to the same college, and we're going to see Black Suit Spider-Man. I think MJ is going to get killed off, and we're going to have the canon event where Ned becomes the Goblin and has to fight Peter Parker. That's the only justification I could see for Ironheart.
See, the one problem I have with that is it ties Ironheart into what has again been three fairly good Spider-Man films, and it'll just ruin those as well. So
yeah, they'll find a way to ruin it, but I think that's the only one that I could kind of understand, but it's going to be terrible, and we all know it.
But then what I can't understand is after Spider-Man No Way Home, which absolutely smashed the box office, why they haven't fast-tracked a Spider-Man film.
Why aren't we getting Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in a buddy cop Spider-Man movie where they're both in the same universe? I mean, those two had a lot of great chemistry.
Because it's what the audience wants. We can't give them that.
Oh, that's true.
I have no idea if it's a Sony Marvel thing or what, but Sony are being allowed to proceed with their own self-destructive Sony-verse, which is just awful.
It's not working. I mean, it should logically lead up to the Craven movie and the Venom movie and Morbius. It should lead up to somehow fighting Spider-Man, but no, it's not going. Where's Morbius?
You'd think Sinister Six, wouldn't you? But I mean, that doesn't seem to be.
That's not going to be happening. They built that up with the Amazing Spider-Man 2, and it does not look like it's going to happen now.
And then they were going to have their feminine Spider-Man universe, Silk and everything.
Spider-Gwen, yeah. Does people really give a shit about Spider-Gwen? She was okay in the first Spider-Man into the multiverse, but that was through the Spider-Verse, I should say.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. You see, I really liked the first one of those, but the second one I found was a little bit.
First one was great.
I didn't see this. I didn't see the second one, but I did enjoy the first one.
Yeah,
I didn't think that I would either. I wasn't a fan of the animation style, but it worked. It really did. It worked. Yeah, it did.
I really did like the first one very much. The second one had a few moments, but not so much.
Yeah, I've not seen the second one. First one, yeah, I really did like it because they were trying to replace Spider-Man and make him an idiot, even though we've got a version of him that's depressed and a little overweight. He still has that drive to do good. He's still
Spider-Man.
He's still Spider-Man. In this one, he's wearing a pink dressing gown for the entire film.
Yeah, it's like we're just trying to Luke Skywalker emasculate these guys again.
That really puts me off watching it as well because I know this is like another dimension Spider-Man because the other Peter Parker is dead, and that's why Miles Morales has to learn to become Spider-Man. But
in this new one, you've got pregnant Spider-Woman, you've got fat Spider-Man, you've got a trans Spider-Man, all sorts of stuff, because that's what they can do with the multiverse, and that's how they can justify it. And you know, on one level, fair enough if that's what.
Yeah, I'm fed up with the multiverse as well, to be honest.
I've had enough of the multiverse. I really have. Because the thing about
the multiverse is just managed to make everything meaningless.
Yeah, it takes away all the stakes. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And it lets us allow to put, other Spider-Men in the movies and say, oh yeah, we're gonna make it make sense now because of the multiverse. But it just seems like a cheap idea now.
Well, I would imagine 100% they're moving towards trying to make Miles Morales the new live-action Spider-Man.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that's not going to work. The video games. People still have a deep appreciation for Peter Parker, but they'll do it anyway because fuck it, why not?
I mean, I was very surprised by how likable Miles Morales was in the first Into the Spider-Man.
Very good.
I thought he was really, really well done character. With his Uncle Aaron and all that kind of Prowler. And I thought that was. I'll say it. I thought that was really, really well done. But I have a lot of hesitation and doubt about their ability to carry it forward. I've already seen the signs in the second film, and I don't think they're going to pull it off. So we'll see what happens.
He needs to become his own person. I think that's the problem. Is that now he is Spider-Man, but you never call him Spider-Man in any of the publications really now, though. In the movies, he's never really called Spider. They keep calling him Miles. So I think they should just go all in on him, but make him his own person and not just Spider-Man different. Yeah. That's all it is.
Yeah, definitely. I think. I mean, there's been so many characters that they've just swapped for a woman character, and they're like, okay, you have to still like them. It's like, well, you've not done the work.
Yeah.
You know, you have to do the work. They did the work with Iron Man, with Tony Stark. You know, they got lucky with the casting. Robert Downey Jr. was perfect, but he has an arc across his 3 films. Captain America has an arc across his 3 films. You know,
yeah. Because the moment he comes back home after his accident, when he realizes that the weapons he's been selling has been used by the enemies, that's when you see that change. Yeah, and the instant death is definitely one that pushes him to not waste his life and actually do something now.
Yeah. And that's a pivot for Tony Stark's character, and none of these other characters have had it, because all these other characters, these diverse or female characters, or whatever Marvel has wanted to create it, you know, they're already perfect. So there's no
even the other actors, even the other characters, even though it's kind of recycled the same storyline of the arsehole becomes humbled by an event and becomes the hero, like in Thor and Doctor Strange, it still felt genuine because they were still trying to develop these characters.
I will say that first phase of Marvel movies had the most perfectly cast ever. I mean, they were perfectly chosen.
Yeah.
Chris Evans is Captain America. Tony Stark is Iron Man. Chris Hemsworth is Thor. These people are such perfect representations of these characters. And then, you know, you get into these later phases of Marvel with Wakanda Forever and
well, even Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther was.
Well, I think no. I will include Chadwick Boseman. I think he was a fantastic.
Rest in peace. I think they should be cast.
But you get further into the casting links of Marvel film and or TV shows even, and there's just a gradual decline of stuff. I don't want to see Owen Wilson in Marvel. I don't.
There's no stories with them either.
No,
I mean,
and I don't want to see Ironheart. There's nothing to her.
Well, you have with Iron Man, his upbringing, all of his character flaws. He got into the business of making weapons and then wanted to renounce all that stuff. But
there's nothing.
But with Ironheart's storyline is that she somehow made a vibranium detector, a material that is not mainstream known. So how was she able to make that? And her getting into mechanics was, I used to build cars with my dad. So now you can build an Iron Man suit. Like really, this is how far we've gone.
That's what we've got.
Yeah,
it's lazy
cars,
and I don't care.
No,
I don't care.
They're not even trying to make them work anymore.
They haven't lost anything. Why would you care? It's like Ray. Well,
we're all coming up to the end of this stream now, and
Norman's had enough.
Just try and want to keep these under.
I'm not inviting these wankers back again. They're not my regulars anymore.
But I do agree with you a lot, because there is nothing on Phase 4 at the moment. Or Phase 5, nothing on Phase 6 from what I've seen.
You got to turn
I'm not interested in Marvel anymore now. I will still watch the first 3 phases, but apart from
they've
nerfed. I'm just not interested anymore now. The new shows, anything.
They've nerfed all the old characters. I mean, they nerfed all of the characters.
Well, look what they've done to bloody Nick Fury.
Yeah,
he's a joke.
It's a joke.
The comedy character, and then of course now he's in Secret. What was it? Secret Invasion, and there's a million scrolls. What do you mean? There's a million scrolls out there?
Now you're supposed to tell me that Rhodey has been a scroll the entire.
Yeah. So now that whole scene of him saying goodbye to Tony as he's dying, it's gone.
Yeah, gone.
So just some
all
random
the best
dude.
characters are all dead now, or they're just being fucking cooked. So, and it's
honestly, when it comes to Marvel, I'd basically take it up to Endgame, chuck in Guardians of the Galaxy 3 because it's an end for that team, and I'm done.
Really quick with Guardians of the Galaxy 3, they played that movie in the trailer as if they were all gonna die. All of the promotion stuff said they were all gonna die. They're holding Peter Quill's body. Not only did they not die, they added all these people to the group.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to tell me that they're done? No, they're just all gonna get back soon. What are you talking about?
Damn, spoiler alert. But I wasn't really intending to watch it.
I think 2 years the movie's been out.
Well over a year. You've had time.
But yeah, we'll like I said, we're going to come up to the end. So, final thoughts on the Jack Barbara Lawrence.
Oh, I love this movie. I really do. It's just such a charming, heartfelt, wholesomely honest, and rip-roaringly funny. Actually laugh out loud funny.
Yeah, I agree. And
I think Steve Martin is fantastic. I think Carl Reiner is a perfect choice for director with him. Rest his soul. And I just, Bernadette Peters is charming. Everything about this movie is a yes. Highly recommend. Please go watch this film if you've never seen it before. You will laugh.
Well, Joe.
It was a fantastic movie from start to finish. Casting great. It didn't linger. The jokes weren't over the top too much, though. It didn't make me have to go, okay, move on here. It just, it's kind of sad watching this movie thinking, yeah, we're not really, even though it's kind of an underrated movie and kind of under the radar too, though, it's still so much better than anything else we've seen today, though. So it does so many things right. And I really do hope Hollywood would look at these movies and say, yeah, we can do this again if we just try harder.
I know this could be very good lessons. All right, this is a very ridiculous joke, but how did they make it work? What is it? What was the genius formula for this? And but they won't. Sadly, they won't.
I think the genius cast of it is there, and Steve Martin, like I said, this came from a lot of his stand-up, like a lot, and without the comedy writing genius part of that. And having a person like Carl Gottlieb come in and refine it into a workable script is what makes this movie so good.
Yeah, it's a great because and they're very clever people as well. They've because half the time it is them pitching ideas when they were driving to work, all that kind of thing, and seeing if it works in the movie. Mm-hmm. And yeah, and there probably was a load of other jokes that got cut out, but to keep the pace. But sometimes you got to kill your babies in order for it to make it work, and they've made it work. And yeah, Critical final views since this was your first time watching it.
Yeah, kind of gutted I'm not seen it before because I would have liked to have seen it a bit younger, I think, and less cynical. I think it's really wholesome. I really enjoyed it. I think that you need do nothing more than compare this to some kind of shit like Ghostbusters 2016, where it's really shine through.
Oh yeah, that was
the comedy in this is so natural and subtle, and it's not been necessarily written to be ha 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 all the time funny. There's so much more to it than that. There's depth to it. There's a wholesome message. There's a good character. There's a few good characters in it. And it doesn't outstay its welcome, and it doesn't at any stage just make you think, ugh, I've had enough. Whereas 2016, after about 15 minutes. Because
it paces it right. It's like I said, it doesn't go on too long, like 93 minutes. It keeps a very good pace. It keeps the story moving along. You know, it never feels padded out or anything like that. And the characters are very, very likable. There are a couple of very dark jokes, but but because it's so cartoonish, you kind of
there's no malice behind it.
I know
there isn't. That's what I mean by when I say it's wholesome.
Yeah,
there's nothing malicious. There's no ill intent.
There's not a bad bone in the entire movie. There's it wants you to love it. It wants you to
it wants you to care for the characters as well. Even
absolutely. I mean, Navin is just it's annoying because we talk about perfect characters, and it could be argued that Navin is in that way a perfect character. Everybody likes him. He does all right. He never really sort of fails, but his naivety and everything makes him inherently amiable and charming. So it's not like he's just constantly, I'm great at this, I'm great at this, I'm great at this. As you say, when they come into money, he doesn't have the sophistication. He's naive. He doesn't understand. He's like, let's stop drinking this old wine. Let's get the good, the good fresh stuff in. He doesn't understand. And
get me the cheese melted sandwiches that you're talking
about. Exactly. and those are his flaws, but his flaws are amenable. You relate to it, and although not many of us, I would imagine, are like Navin, because we're all going to have deeper flaws and demons and all that kind of thing. It's a brighter side of the human experience that you can't help but root for, and I think that's the heart of the movie. Is it's just something that people can identify with, whether or not you look like Steve Martin. And I don't, not yet. My hair's not great.
You know.
So
Well,
yeah, I think it'd be a really hard movie not to like.
It is
really hard movie not to like.
I know, and it's always fun to watch. And so we've given our final thoughts anyway, and obviously I've just given mine anyway. And so, have you got any upcoming projects at the moment? Any upcoming content? Starting with Barbara Lawrence.
Well, tonight, in about 4 hours or 3.5 hours, I will be on my own show, B-Sides. We're going to be showing the movie Freaked with Alex Winter.
Ooh.
And
I need to watch that because I've seen the trailer for it a few times, and it looks fucking trippy.
It is. It's a punk rocker movie with a punk rocker heart. Butthole Surfers did the soundtrack. Yeah, I'm excited for it. It'll be a lot of fun, and then I believe, is it this Wednesday or next Wednesday? I think it's next Wednesday. I will be on Total Recall, talking about Mystery Men.
Oh man, that film!
Oh, I love that film.
That's great.
That film is just fucking funny. That really is.
Yeah.
So I will try and keep
nobody's looking.
Yeah. World War Joe, what have you got upcoming next?
I got in 2 hours. I have a song coming out where it's about the One Ring yelling at Frodo and pretty much telling him to put it on and just end this fight. And then I have and then I just this came across my feed, so I'm probably going to talk about it for tomorrow. Though Wicked has changed its release date for the second time. First, they changed it because they didn't want to go up against Moana, and now when Gladiator 2 announced their release date, they said, "Nope, we're moving our release date 5 days earlier." So that's not a good sign for this movie. You have to keep running from competition. The Crow recently changed their release date because they didn't want to go against Bad Boys 4. So that's never a good sign. So I'm going to talk about that. It's going to be on my show tomorrow morning.
Yeah, it might be easy just to fucking put the Crow on streaming because that is not going to do well. It really isn't.
No, it's going to be terrible.
No. I don't have any real hope for it, especially given how I feel about The Crow 1994, and I have reviewed that on my channel. Go check it out.
Yeah, that's still good even today. That really is. And it's not just
very, very well.
It's not just because of Brandon Lee's unfortunate death. No, it generally is a good film, and you really do care about this guy. And
it's a fantastic love story.
It's a fantastic love story. It is. It is a really good movie. I saw it once in the theater, and then I could not go back to it and rewatch it. I still have it because it was just too painful for me.
Oh yeah, it's very emotional.
It was so heartbreaking, and then knowing, and followed, preceded with his death. It was too much. I can't go back and rewatch it again. It was really great the first time, but it was just
his fiance Eliza died shortly afterwards.
Yeah,
it's doubly tragic.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that's why in the film it's to Brandon and Eliza.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she died afterwards.
Yeah, but it's not. What I like about it is not totally nihilistic either. There is some kind of hope in there as well, despite all the tragedy that was surrounding it. And it's
got so much
the ending does kind of get me a little bit. I'm not going to lie.
It's like heavy metal, noir, gothic love story, smatterings of violence. It's brilliant. I love The Crow. I genuinely love that film. Check out my review if you get a chance. Yeah,
I'll try and get that done on the stream as well soon because I want to do that when it gets round about maybe September or October.
Yeah, the remake's been put to August 23rd, I believe. So yeah, hitting it early in September and doing a comparison, I think, could be very interesting because I don't think it's going to go well.
So yeah, and Critical, what have you got upcoming next?
All right, tomorrow I'm going to do what I should have been doing over the last couple of days, and I'm going to be reviewing Blood and Gold, which is a great little Netflix spaghetti westernish.
Yes, I need to watch that.
It's good. Check it out.
You it to me on the news, didn't you? I really need to check that out. It looks like it could be good.
Yep, that's a good film. So I'll be doing a full review for that and trying to get that tomorrow. And I'll be finishing off my script for Star Wars From A New Hope to No Hope, which will be a nice long video, me talking about how great Star Wars used to be and how bad it is now. So I'll work. That'll be a slow burn. It's probably going to take me another week to get that done in total. But that's my big video that I'll be working on amongst any reviews that I work on in the meantime.
Okay.
And other than that, I'm probably going to be here next Friday, ain't I? What are we watching?
Yeah, so I think what have we got next? I think it's Beverly Hills Cop, the first one. I need to have a look properly.
Cool. All right. Yeah. Well, let me know, and I'll check it out. So it's all good. But yeah, that's what I'll be doing. And as I say, any film's bad enough to warn people against, like In a Violent Nature, I'll be doing that as well because that was fucking awful.
Nice one. So yeah, I think that'll be it for now. I'm gonna end it right there. And thank you, Nix, Jan Malama,
Adios all.
Color Loser. Let's have a look. Who else? Adam Gray. Yeah, thank you for joining us.
Black Lives.
Bex,
Black
Lives or Black Knives. Yeah, been really fucking wonderful guest. Keithy, thank you very much. Hoping I haven't missed anyone when I scroll down because I really don't want to forget to mention anyone's names here. I've done it a couple of times and I don't always mean to. So Nick's obviously, I think I might have mentioned you already, and Ghost in the Craig, I don't know if you did catch us because that comment was from ages ago, but thank you anyway. And whether you beautiful bastards are Northern English or not, thanks for watching. And right now I am done and I am off to the pub. Thank you for joining us.
Good night.
Bye.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, guys.
And and please subscribe to my guests if you haven't already, and share their YouTube profiles, please, so they can get more subs.
More subs.